FoxSports.com. Well, they don't leave anything to chance on the coin toss. Heads. That's a heads, folks, and the Eagles won the toss. And we'll get the ball first as John Casey will be kicking off, and James Thrash is back deep for the Eagles. The Carolina Panthers can actually clinch the division title with a win and losses by Tampa Bay and New Orleans. And Thrash returning the opening kickoff for the Eagles, and finally tackled at the 32-yard line. As we take a look at the Philadelphia Eagles offensive unit, Donovan McNabb has not thrown an interception in more than 4 games. That's a long time, Harold.
You just put the whammy on him, though, with that. And
the offensive line, Trey Thomas missed 1 game of his career. Artis Hicks starting his 3rd straight game at left guard.
And the wide receivers, Todd Pinkston and James Thrash, must make plays on the outside down the field to create some coverage situations by that Carolina defense.
So Karel Buckhalter starts the game, but you know you're going to see all 3 of those outstanding running backs for the Eagles, beginning from the 32, and McNabb stepping up, and his toss is intercepted off the hands of John Ritchie, and Mike Rucker winds up with the ball, and a big break for the Panthers to start the game.
Well, there goes the interception streak, Mr. Stockton. Mike Rucker's going to come out in his zone dog. He's going to drop from the right end position into that area. Now Philadelphia likes to drop the ball off. He gets into the area where the running backs and the tight ends will be. John Ritchie reaches up for it. There's Mike Rucker, your defensive end, in that zone blitz scheme, right into that center of the field area where all those running backs and tight ends are going to check down.
Hey, Moose, if I was going to jinx someone, I didn't think it was going to come this fast. He had 127 straight, and now Jake Delhomme is at quarterback. And the Panthers will be starting on the Eagles 36, and Stephen Davis getting the first call. And Davis held to his 2nd lowest yardage a week ago against Dallas with 59 yards. Jake Delhomme, who started only 2 games with the New Orleans Saints prior to this year, and he's had a successful season. Jordan Gross having an outstanding year as the #1 draft pick at right tackle out of Utah.
And the Eagles defense cannot let Stephen Davis get on track early. They need a big hit, make him tap his feet, frustrate him just like you do with a quarterback trying to find his rhythm.
2nd down and 9, and here's Davis off there, and they will hold him to a 1-yard gain thanks to linebacker Nate Wayne. Taking a look at the Philadelphia Eagles defensive unit, they have not been effective at stopping the run as of late. Corey Simon, one of the leading sack masters from the tackle position. Simoneau right in the middle between Wayne and Carlos Emmons at linebacker.
But they've got their leader on defense back, Brian Dawkins, who sat out last week. He's the guy who's going to try and deliver that big hit on Stephen Davis early in the game.
Taylor and Dawkins playing together for the first time since opening day. 3rd down and 8 from the 34-yard line, and here is Delhomme getting time, and the pass caught by Muhsin Muhammad, and a first down on a very fleet crossing pattern. And the Panthers are in business, a 17-yard gain, and they are inside the Eagle 20.
Well, one of the things the Eagles defense wanted to do was to get Carolina into a 3rd and 8+. They do that with their success on 1st and 2nd down, but they give up a play right here. Muhsin Muhammad beats Bobby Taylor on the crossing route. Jake Delhomme stands in the pocket, had time, had everything opened up in front. Good protection by his offensive lineman in front of him.
And, you know, the Panthers telling us yesterday that they feel if they get inside the 50-yard line, they may not get touchdowns, but most of the time they'll get something out of it, some points. Right now, the red zone offense is only 27th in the league, but they manage to get something every time they get into enemy territory. Panthers call a timeout, and we'll be right back.
NFL Sunday is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Friendly nonstop service all across the country. Southwest Airlines, a symbol of freedom.
Back here in Charlotte, and the Philadelphia Eagles, who had not turned the ball over in 4 games, turn it over on the first offensive possession, and following a timeout, the Panthers, and a good timeout it is, 1st and 10 on the 18 of the Eagles. Jake Delhomme, who came into the opening game of the season and has not relinquished the starter's role. Stephen Davis barrels inside the 15-yard line. It'll be about 5.5 yards short, but a good first down play for the Panthers.
And the key to the Carolina running game is going downhill. And what downhill means is running between the tackles. And that's going to be Jim Johnson's big challenge today with those guys up front. They have not played well against the run over the last month. This guy, Stephen Davis, if you let him have success early, and that's why Brian Dawkins thinks it's so important to make him tap his feet, get a big hit on him, do something that frustrates him.
2nd down and 6, and Muhammad going in motion, and they go to Davis again, finding running room on the outside, turning the corner, and out of bounds, close to the 1st down, and he appears to have it. Stephen Davis will give the Panthers a 1st and goal at about the 8-yard line.
Well, the defense did exactly what you want to do against Stephen Davis. Make him bounce to the outside, get him to run laterally to the line of scrimmage. But you see the speed that Stephen Davis possesses. He's sneaky fast. He beat Bobby Taylor to the corner on that play.
So inside the opponent's 10, Jake Delhomme has thrown for 6 touchdowns. There have been 3 touchdowns rushing. And now they split Stephen Davis on 1st and goal. No one in the backfield other than the quarterback, and the pass tipped and caught by Muhammad, and because of that he's not going to gain any yards. And Carlos Evans, the Eagles outside linebacker, makes what eventually was an easy play for him.
Yeah, and Rasheed Muhammad, very, very fortunate right there. You only get 1 touch in the NFL. Very rarely can you have that ball be deflected up in the air, especially with the speed of the Philadelphia defense. You see how fortunate that ball hung up there. Here comes all your pursuit from the linebackers and the corners. He was very fortunate to get a 2nd chance to make that catch.
But the Panthers did lose 3 yards on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal, the ball at the 11. In motion is the fullback Brad Hoover, and here is the handoff to Davis, and Davis getting down close to the 6-yard line, where it'll be 3rd down and goal, a 5-yard pickup. Michael Lewis, the strong safety, making the tackle for the Eagles. So this is where the Eagles' goal obviously right now is to force the Panthers to kick a field goal. There you see the running game and how much it's improved since Stephen Davis was signed as a free agent from the Washington Redskins. 3rd down and goal from the 7. And Delhomme under some pressure. He's being chased down. He's going to run for it and won't get into the end zone. So that's going to amount to a win for the Philadelphia Eagles as Darwin Walker and Bobby Taylor run down Jake Delhomme, who is stopped at the 2-yard line and forcing the Panthers to go for 3.
Bobby Taylor played this very, very well. Darwin Walker, number 97, is going to be in pursuit of Jake Delhomme. Now, right in this situation right here, he's got Bobby Taylor between a rock and a hard place. Whether he stays on the receiver in the end zone or comes up to make a play on Jake Delhomme, you could see him at the end of the run trying to influence Bobby Taylor to move off that receiver. He plays it well, waits till he crosses the line of scrimmage, then comes up and makes the hit.
So John Casey attempting a 20-yard field goal to give the Panthers the lead, and he does. But sort of a blunted rally by the Panthers, who have to take 3 after getting that turnover.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Sprint, proudly offering picture mail and PCS Vision picture phones.
Panthers take the early lead, 3-0. Capitalizing on Mike Rucker's first career interception, but the Eagles prevented the touchdown as James Thrash, for the 2nd time in the game, returns a kickoff and is finally hit at the 30-yard line, and Ricky Manning Jr. makes the special teams play after a return of 23 yards. So Donovan McNabb goes out there again for the Eagles, who trail. 9:25 remaining in the first, and the Panthers lead 3-0, and for the 2nd time the Eagles will begin from their 32-yard line. McNabb throwing the interception, and now going to work again. Carell Buckhalter, who starts with the base offense and the 2nd leading rusher behind John Ritchie, the fullback, and play action on 1st down, and McNabb with a pump fake and going underneath, and the pass caught at the 35 by the fullback John Ritchie for a 4-yard gain. Taking a look at the Carolina Panther defense, and this is their strength by far, the defensive line. Rucker, we've seen. Julius Peppers in his 2nd year, headed for greatness as well. The linebackers, Witherspoon, Dan Morgan, and Greg Favors.
In the secondary, Reggie Howard and Terry Cousin will both be faced with man-to-man situations. They're going to play more man coverage They're not threatened by the speed of the receivers. You saw in that last play, there was nobody for Donovan McNabb downfield.
No one has really been threatened by the receivers, but they have been threatened by the running backs, and Brian Westbrook picks up a first down up to the 44-yard line, an 8-yard pickup with Rucker and Grant making the tackle as we check in for the first time today with the third member of our team, Chris Myers.
Dick, you mentioned at the top John Fox in his days with New York as defensive coordinator. He would use Cornelius Griffin, a defensive lineman, as a spy for Donovan McNabb, and it worked effectively. In pregame warmups, Fox said he'll use some spy today against McNabb, but it won't necessarily be a defensive lineman, maybe a linebacker. McNabb likes to know where the spy is, so let's look for McNabb spying the spy.
Right now, let's look for Deuce Staley on the handoff, and Staley picking up about 5 yards before Mike Minter, the strong safety, comes in and makes the stop. And the first time for Chris, let's check in with James Brown for the first time with the game break.
All right, Dick, thank you so much. Marshall Falk capitalizing on a Rams block punt, takes it 18 yards to pay dirt. His 125th touchdown, tying Walter Payton for 6 all-time. And then Jamal Lewis, a 6-yard touchdown run. That coming after a Jeff Garcia pick. 7-0 Baltimore over San Fran. Back to Dick Stockton.
A doubleheader, JB, on the early highlights. Brian Westbrook breaks one, and Westbrook barrels his way into Carolina territory and gets the first down of the 31. A 20-yard pickup with Ricky Manning Jr., a nickelback, finally bringing Westbrook down.
A good play call by the Eagles. The pressure's going to come off the slot, and then a wrap here by the backers. They're running the ball in this direction right here, right away from that blitz. Here comes your 2 blitzers on the left side. They've got a great play called, running directly away from that to the right side.
So the Eagles trailing 3-0, threaten here, and they're doing it on the ground. 28 yards and 2 carries by Westbrook, and a first down on the 31-yard line of the Panthers. And the play action and going up top for James Thrash, and incomplete. And they were going to Thrash right there. Thrash, by the way, is suffering a sprained thumb in practice late in the week, but okay enough to play today. As you take a look at the fewest first quarter points allowed in the year, and both of these teams rank amongst the top.
That was going to be the big battle here in the first quarter. Some interesting things happened. The two of the losses in Carolina's season so far, they have allowed points in the first quarter. They're not a great come-from-behind team. They've got to play the type of game that they've started with this afternoon up until this point.
Yeah, field position is really what they're all about, and right now the Eagles have the edge. Buckhalter back in the game up the middle. Correll Buckhalter. And right now, they talked about the Eagles having trouble stopping the run. The Panthers have not been able to halt the Eagle running back. It's any of the 3 thus far, as Buckhalter picks up 8 yards.
And it's all going to be on the offensive line for the Philadelphia Eagles today. Can they create running lanes in their run game with all 3 of those running backs? Can they protect Donovan McNabb against the great pass rushers in that Carolina front 4? They've got 3 legitimate big-time pass rushers across that defensive front.
Third down and 2 on the Panther 23. And Andy Reid has been going with the hot hand all year, and that means the running game. And the Eagles are going to use their first timeout, so each team uses one early in the game as the score remains 3-0 Carolina.
Sundays brought to you by Volkswagen. On the road of life, there are passengers and there are drivers. By long-lasting Energizer, do you have the bunny inside? By IBM, official information technology partner of the NFL. And by Visa, if you love the NFL, it's everywhere you want to be.
Back here in Charlotte, the Eagles calling the timeout, looking at a 3rd down and 2 on the Panther 23. And the Eagles will line up with 2 tight ends, and Chad Lewis and rookie L.J. Smith, and Corell Buckhalter in the backfield. Eagles have gained over 10 yards of carry on the ground, but McNabb goes to the air, and the pass caught by John Ritchie on a first down inside the 20-yard line. And anytime they use the fullback, I know, Darryl, you're all for that.
And they don't use John Ritchie enough, but that's a good play call right there. Donovan McNabb actually makes the play because Carolina had a good play, good defense dialed up on that. They brought 2 blitzers, both to the running back side, but John Ritchie released, and you see right there, It's a touchdown every fourth touch on the ball. You got to get the ball more to that guy, get some more touchdowns.
So you think that's how it'll work? We'll get a lot of touchdowns, right?
25 to 30 touches for John Ritchie today.
First down and the pass up the middle, and it's to Deuce Staley, and Staley picking up about 8 yards, and the Panthers preventing the first down with Will Witherspoon, outside linebacker, making the tackle. So a good first down play, netting them 7 or 8 yards.
Well, I know that Correll Buckhalter and Brian Westbrook are getting a lot of the credit for the success of that running back trio, but to me, Deuce Staley is the guy that sets the tempo. I mean, he really is the heart and soul of the offense. Just watch the effort, the enthusiasm, and the passion that he plays with when he's on the field.
Second down and 2. Eagles trailing by 3, and McNabb getting a lot of time, and his pass caught at the 2-yard line by James Thrash. So Thrash with the catch, defended by Mike Minter and Ricky Manning Jr. And first and goal coming up now for the Eagles.
Well, this is all on James Thrash. Watch the effort he does to get open. They've actually covered it pretty well. Look at that little move right there at the end. He pushes Ricky Manning Jr. by, sneaks back across his face. There's no way that Donovan McNabb can throw him the ball if he goes behind the defender. He uses a little arm over swim move, cuts back across his face, and gives Donovan an outlet.
10 different receivers caught McNabb passes last week against the Saints. Deuce Staley, the running back, gets the carry on first and goal, dives into the end zone, touchdown, Philadelphia. So that's how the Eagles responded from a turnover. They prevented a Panther touchdown by making a tackle at the 2, and then they go the field, and a 2-yard run by Deuce Staley gives the Eagles a 6-3 lead.
Well, they're functioning well as a team. They have the early turnover. The defense holds them to a field goal, and now here comes your offense. And it's the offensive line again. You've got 2 guards out front pulling, and look at the athletic ability by Deuce Staley right there. I really thought he was going to be tackled short. Does a great job getting that arm down and staying alive.
Third touchdown of the year by Staley, and David Akers adds the extra point, and the Eagles, with 4:05 remaining in the first quarter, take the 7-3 lead over the Panthers. Leading his team in 3 different departments, Brian Westbrook gaining 28 yards on 2 carries, 2 big runs in that drive. And the Eagles in front by a score of 7-3. Kickoff by Akers, and Steve Smith, the wide receiver, on the return. Stays on his feet, gets second effort, and Steve Smith out of bounds at the 45-yard line. Pretty good run back of 42 yards by Smith. And the Panthers get good field position with their answer to what the Eagles have done, Moose.
You know, they've missed a lot of tackles on the defensive side of the ball. Now it carries over into special teams. This is just an effort by Steve Smith. They've got him pinned to the sideline. Quentin McKell, number 46, you're going to watch him come up. He's got an opportunity to make the play right there. You've got to get down around his waist. You can't make a tackle like up high on Steve Smith. David Akers stays alive on the play. Your kicker comes over, does what he's supposed to do. Use the sideline and get that guy out of bounds.
Starting from the 45-yard line, and the pitch to Stephen Davis. And Davis is hit in the line and then carries the defenders an extra 3 yards. Darwin Walker makes the stop. Davis, who faced the Eagles many times, of course, as a member of the Redskins. Talk about stat of doom. Well, they're both still alive, I guess, Darryl.
Yep, Philadelphia just coming off their touchdown drive. And you look at there, we talked about it earlier. They are 0-2. 2 of those 3 losses have come when they have let the opponent score in the first quarter. The Carolina Panthers are not a good come-from-behind team. They've got to control the flow of the game.
But the Eagles 7-0 when they score in the first quarter, so take your pick. 2nd and 5. The ball is at midfield, and they go again to Stephen Davis, and Davis gets the first down. Stephen Davis trying to answer the Eagles' 3-man running attack by doing it all himself. He gets 8 yards with Troy Vincent making the stop as the Panthers once again find themselves in Eagle territory.
I know that this may sound obvious, but Jermaine Wiggins and Geno James right there are trying to punch a hole in the defense. That's what the Carolina running game is about. They're not trying to zone things and allow the running back to stretch something and then cut back into a vacant lane. They are trying to punch a hole in that defensive front.
And the Eagles, once staunch against the run, have had their problems, and on a flea flicker from Davis, Jake Delhomme pointing, and he hits the man down at the 22-yard line. Steve Smith So the flea flicker, and it looked like the Eagles were going to snuff it out, winds up with 20 yards and a first down for the Panthers on the Eagle 23.
Well, the Eagles did sniff it out, but what you're going to see is a guy who never gives up on the play, Steve Smith. Right now, when they throw the ball back to Jake Delhomme, they've got a guy running with him the whole time. He's looking for him. You see him motioning right there. Here comes Steve Smith all the way back from deep downfield to get back in that play. I'm going to sell it like it's a run. Now I'm going to the deep corner. My quarterback gets in trouble. I've got to go back and help him. I've got to get in his line of sight.
From the 23, and there's Davis. Gets hit once, gets hit twice. And again, picking up nearly 7 yards on first down. Jim Flanagan making the stop for the Philadelphia Eagles, who have had injury problems on their defensive line. Hollis Thomas, their best run defender, of course, has been out for a while. And then you add to that Paul Grassmanis and Derek Burgess out with an Achilles injury. So this has been a depleted defensive line as far as their depth goes. And
the guys who are getting a lot of reps now on the defensive line are pocket pushers. They were the guy on the defensive line to collapse the pocket, not allow the quarterback to step up. They are not great run defenders.
Second down and 4. Davis went in motion to the left. Delhomme is looking the other way, and the pass intended for a receiver who fell down. Mike Seidman, a tight end and a rookie from UCLA, lost his footing. So that will bring up third down for the Panthers with just about a minute and a half remaining in this first quarter.
And yet to see a lot of pressure from the Philadelphia Eagles defense at this point, and I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that Stephen Davis is in the backfield. Jim Johnson, historically, when he was with the Washington Redskins, backed off his presser package because he is worried about Stephen Davis or the running back breaking that first level. All the big running plays in a blitz will come in a running play.
Ron Smart is now the setback, and Smart gets the handoff, breaks a tackle, and will be stopped short of the first down by 2 yards. Corey Simon putting the initial pressure on, and they go with the fleet back that time, and fourth down coming up now for the Panthers.
And there's Corey Simon. He's going to break through on this, and watch Rod Smart's effort. I mean, that's a defensive tackle that has you hit right in the chest, slides down to the waist. Good athletic ability to spin out of that and keep that play alive. That's as good as you're going to get. I mean, he is trying. Corey is trying to get him wrapped up, but Rod Smart just keeps his legs pumping.
John Casey, who connected on a 20-yard field goal. This will be from 32 yards. Todd Sauerbrunn, the punter, will be holding. And Casey's field goal is going to be very close, misses out to the left. So the Panthers with an impressive drive, and John Fox's club trailing 7-3 as a rare miss for John Casey, who at one point this year hit 21 in a row, in fact 22 straight going back to last year.
Well, that's what John Fox means by his team hasn't quite arrived yet. You know, they have got to take advantage of every opportunity they have during the course of the game. There is very little margin of error, and I know that this team is 8-3. I know they've gotten themselves right back into the top hunt in that AFC playoff race, but they cannot allow points to stay off the board like they did right there.
There's Brian Dawkins, who returns to action today after the foot injury. Eagles getting back their 2 Pro Bowlers along with Bobby Taylor, but taking over on offense from the 22-yard line. McNabb to Thrash. Thrash breaks the tackle and has the first down. Let's check in with Chris Myers.
Moments ago we saw Stephen Davis in action, 4th leading rusher in the NFL. 5th would be the running back by committee, the 3-headed running back committee of Coral Buckhalter, Brian Westbrook, and Deuce Staley. Donovan McNabb said they're all interchangeable parts, but he did say that Deuce Staley has been a guy, instead of complaining about playing time, he's helping the guys work together, and he's been the leader in the backfield.
Westbrook is in there now, Chris. They missed the first down by inches, and here is Brian Westbrook, and he may have enough for the first down, and that will be the last play of this first quarter. First down for the Eagles, and that is the end of the first quarter. The Eagles lead it by a score of 7-3, and Fox NFL Sunday will continue after these messages. John Fox, who has his Panthers in front in the NFC South at 8-3. Andy Reid, whose 8-3 record after Dallas's loss on Thanksgiving, actually leads the NFC East by a half game as we start the second quarter. 1st and 10 on the 33-yard line. And Deuce Staley is in the game, and Deuce Staley gets the call and dives to to the 35-yard line for a pickup of 2. Mike Rucker making the tackle. Cornerback Terry Cousin of the Panthers has a leg injury, questionable as to his return. They've been using Dante Wesley and Ricky Manning Jr. At the last play, the Panthers had 5 defensive backs.
And we'll see if that alters John Fox's approach on the defensive side of the ball. He was going to leave his corners in man-to-man situations so they could play more zone to protect those running backs and tight ends from getting open in the underneath routes.
2nd and 8. McNabb short drop with a fade. And the receiver ended his route. That was James Thrash who stopped. He was covered by Reggie Howard. So 3rd and long upcoming for the Eagles in their green and white and black.
And one of these guys has got to make a play down the field. We saw James Thrash make a short catch earlier. But Todd Pinkston or James Thrash or Freddie Mitchell or Greg Lewis, one of those 4 wide receivers against one-on-one coverage on the outside has got to make a play vertically down the field.
I know it's early in this game, early in the second, but I would say this would be a big stop for the Panthers right now because they missed the field goal, did Carolina, allowed the Eagles to score a touchdown. So they're looking to get the ball back. 3rd down and 8 from the 35. Pressure on McNabb. Gets away from one, but he won't get away from them all. And it's Reggie Howard who came in from the cornerback position on a blitz. And a huge loss of 10 yards on the play, forcing the Eagles to kick.
Well, he had pressure immediately in his face. Donovan McNabb, the pressure is going to come from the outside coming in, but then he also had somebody released from his right side. So he never had an opportunity to set his feet and be able to scan down the field. A good job by that Carolina defensive front.
So that gets the crowd back into this game as if they ever left, and Dirk Johnson will punt for the first time for the Eagles from the 15-yard line. Steve Smith going back. What a great kick by Johnson, and hemmed in inside his 20-yard line and dropped. A tremendous punt and great coverage. That was Keith Adams making the tackle after the 56-yard boomer by Dirk Johnson of the Eagles.
To you by Saturn, makers of the highly adaptable View, stylish midsize L300 and the fun to drive Ion. By Citizen Echo Drive, a revolutionary watch that never needs a battery. By Wachovia, together we can achieve uncommon things. And by Stuck on You, starring Matt Damon and Greg Kinnear, December 12th only in theaters.
Eagles leading the Panthers 7-3, and that is Steve Smith, who was hurt, taken out of the game. He is the Panthers' leading receiver coming into this game.
And you cannot afford to lose Steve Smith. He is your big play receiver, and you saw right there, he is also their return guy. 19-yard
line and a sack by Brandon Whiting. So right after the Panthers combined with Reggie Howard and Mike Rucker, each getting part of that sack to force the punt by the Eagles, Brandon Whiting knocks back Jake Delhomme for a 3-yard loss.
It's one of the areas, if you're going to be suspect against the run, then you should be generating a lot more pressure on the quarterback. If the guys that are in that defensive front, if they are by nature pocket pushers in the passing game that are trying to adjust to the run game, you should have adequate pressure all day.
2nd down and 13, and the pitch to Stephen Davis. Davis turning the corner, very tough runner. Look at Davis go! Stephen Davis, and a great collision going out of bounds with Lito Shepherd, but not before a 31-yard pickup by Davis in a brilliant run by Stephen.
And this is the area that concerns defensive coordinator Jim Johnson the most, is the big runs. And now watch Stephen Davis feel his way through there. There are opportunities for the Eagles to make a tackle for a 5- to 6-yard gain. And he knows that the good running backs in the NFL are going to have those during the course of the afternoon. The thing that has really hurt the Eagles in their run defense are the big runs. And you see right there, the first 4 games, they had only one 10-plus yard run. Look what's happened over the last 8 games. 34 in the last 8 games.
And then first down, they're going to go back to Davis, gets hit and will lose a yard. And a good defensive play by Carlos Emmons with the pressure there. And for a game break, let's return to L.A. and James Brown.
Hey, Dick, take a look at Dante and Randy hooking up here. Randy Moss on the quick post route. Dante firing a bullet. 11 touchdown reception for Moss this season. They've narrowed the gap. 10-7. Back to Dick, Daryl, and Chris.
All right, JB, thank you very much. And a big shootout going on the Dome in St. Louis. And right here, the Eagles in front 7-3, the 2-yard loss. sets the Panthers back to their 45-yard line. And the handoff to Nick Goings, and the flag is down. And our first of the game as Goings dives up to midfield. He came into the game having carried only 5 times, and the penalty will be marked off against the Panthers.
Holding, 69, offense, 10-yard penalty, still second down.
That's the rookie Jordan Gross, who has really had an outstanding start, installed as the starter and right tackle out of the University of Utah, and has played well all year.
And it's very difficult. I think offensive line is one of the more difficult positions to start as a rookie as you come from college, because you have to adjust so much to the speed of the pass rushers in the passing game, but also the size and strength of the defensive tackles when you're going against the run. Jordan Gross has made a very quick adjustment to the NFL.
2nd and 22. Rod Smart went in motion, and not only did he go in motion, but Muhsin Muhammad went about 6 yards down the field before the snap. So they're going to mark 5 more
prior to the snap,
against
full
the Panthers.
start, 87, offense, 5-yard penalty, still second down.
There you see Steve Smith, the injured wide receiver, being carted off the field, and that is, Moose, as you mentioned, would be a big blow if they lost him. Walter Young, a rookie, takes his place, but Smith and Muhammad have been the big 1-2 guns for this team.
Yeah, and that did not look good. You never want to see somebody leave the field on the cart and then that towel over the head. That's double bad news right there.
2nd down and 27. Delhomme flings it to Smart, and Smart doesn't get much. Is stopped at about the 35-yard line for a 5-yard pickup. Michael Lewis, the strong safety, in on the play for the Eagles. We're early here in the 2nd quarter. The Eagles leading the Panthers 7-3. Philadelphia looking to take a full 1-game lead in the NFC East over the Dallas Cowboys. And of course, these two teams clash next week in Philadelphia.
In this situation right here, Carolina cannot play like this. They cannot have back-to-back penalties to put themselves in position where they're facing 3rd and 22s. When we talk about controlling the game, it's not just in a point total and being behind in the game. It's staying ahead in the down and distance also. And 3rd and 22 is not where they have to be or need to be all day.
And with plenty of time, Delhomme is going deep downfield, and we have no flag. And it looked like Ricky Poole was dragged down by Bobby Taylor. And Delhomme looking around, did anyone see that play? And the crowd wondering the same thing, but no flag is thrown. We'll take another look.
Well, I agree with the officials. You've got both players with their heads back trying to pick up the ball. To me, this is just incidental contact. There's a bump right there, but both Bobby Taylor and Ricky Prohl are looking back at the football. Their legs get tangled and they both go down. The only one that you might have got was some illegal contact early in that spot, but not right there at the end of that play.
Well, the crowd still doesn't agree with you, and why would they? Because they're Panther fans, as Todd Sauerbrunn with the punt and Brian Westbrook with the return. Fumbles, and the Panthers get it. Brian Westbrook fumbles the punt. And the Panthers will get it back. And it was Mike Caldwell who recovered the fumble, the former Philadelphia Eagle linebacker.
Brian Westbrook trying to go up inside. That's just a good play by the Carolina defender that's being blocked. Brian Westbrook has that ball tucked away. Now watch the hand come in right here by Chris Mangum. Chris Mangum knocks that ball out. That was not sloppy ball protection by Brian Westbrook. That was just a good slap by Chris Mangum.
And you know what, Moose? No one's complaining about the non-call on the pass interference now all of a sudden. I can't understand why.
Well, if there is karma, they probably are in the exact same spot that they would have been if they'd thrown the flag on PI.
So the Panthers with an opportunity here. They had one in the 1st quarter and could only manage a field goal. Jake Delhomme brings him to the line at the 22. Stephen Davis hit and dropped. Davis has carried now 11 times for 65 yards. Brandon Whiting on the tackle. Chris Myers.
Dick, Darrell, this is the time of leftovers post-Thanksgiving. Both Stephen Davis and Jake Delhomme were free agents, not hotly pursued. Davis was down to Houston and here and wanted to be close to where he grew up in South Carolina. And Delhomme was down to the Cowboys are here, and he's a Louisiana guy, said he felt comfortable in the South. Now they've found a home and are helping the Panthers in this game and march toward a maybe division title in the playoffs.
And right now trying to find the end zone, Chris, and Davis getting the call, and Stephen Davis getting to the 19-yard line. Sam Rayburn, the rookie from Tulsa, who has been inactive most of the year. And they'll give Davis 3 yards on the play with another big third down coming up in this game. And right now the Eagles would love to prevent the Panthers from getting the first down. They'll settle for the field goal again. They'll take 7 over 3 anytime.
We'll see if the beginning of this game has gone as the Philadelphia Eagles season has. At one point it's the offense picking up the defense. At the other time they flip. Today the offense and special teams has given up a short field. The defense has hung in there.
Third down and 7, and DeLone pushed back and escapes. DeLone throwing in the end zone, and it's incomplete. No flag again, and it's Muhammad, the receiver, and Troy Vincent on the coverage. And from our vantage point, it did not look like there was any penalty for sure on that one.
Well, the Eagles bring a tremendous amount of pressure, and sometimes what Jim Johnson does, he just challenges you to try and get that ball out before he can get there. Again, it's incidental contact.
Right.
Their feet get tangled up in that situation. It's just part of the game. Now, I think what happened with Carolina, they had 2 and possibly could have had 3 PIs in the end zone last week against Dallas. You can't draw that play up in your playbook, but these fans sure do want it.
But no pass interference has been called, and so John Casey with a 38-yard field goal, and this one is missed. So Casey has missed 2 out of 3. He had not missed a field goal of less than 40 yards since 1998, and he's in a slump right now as the Panthers still trail. So John Casey normally automatic misses 2 field goals, and the Eagles leading 7-3. Couple of updates on the Panther injuries. Terry Cousin had a calf injury. He will not come back. His place taken by Ricky Manning Jr. at corner, and Steve Smith with a hip injury, and it's questionable as to his return. From the 28-yard line, and Donovan McNabb in heavy traffic. Strong arm downfield, and the pass incomplete. Thrash the intended receiver, and he's got an idea of McNabb's throwing arm on that pass. Right now for a game break, here's JB.
Hey, Dick Stockton, take a look at Isaac Bruce here. He and Mark Bulger. Bruce looking, running the fade route, makes the adjustment, comes back inside. Bulger right there with him, throws a 4-yard strike, and it is now 17-7. St. Louis over the Vikings. Back to Dick Stockton.
All right, JB, as the Rams try to go 9-3, the other 2 8-3 teams are playing right here, right now. And only one of them will keep that record going. Deuce Staley on the carry on second down. Picks up about 3 yards on the play with Will Witherspoon making the stop. So third down coming up. And here are the division leaders right now. Right now, the Carolina Panthers have control of the NFC, and the winner of this game would have control. If the Eagles do, then they would be at the helm, but we have a lot remaining. Dallas and Seattle would be the wild cards. The Packers losing on Thanksgiving Day, trailing the pack with 3 other teams. Third down and 7. McNabb on the slant has Todd Pinkston for his first catch of the day, and the Eagles get the first down, picking up 15.
Right now, the defense of the Carolina Panthers are bringing a lot of pressure, and that's what you have. When you bring pressure, you're going to get those one-on-one situations. Now, they did not fear the speed, but here's what it is. It's kind of a bear front. They're covering the guard center guard area. They're playing basically an 8-man front, but it's the defense, that 46 defense, that Buddy Ryan made famous in Chicago, and John Fox carries that as part of his package.
First down, and here is Brian Westbrook, and he gets the ball and goes off the right side, and Westbrook, very tough runner, who leads the team in punt returns, kickoff returns, and in rushing, gets nearly 9 yards. Deion Grant, the Panther free safety, making the play, short of the first down by a little more than a yard.
That's just all Brian Westbrook right there, because he was knocked back in the backfield. There was penetration, bounces outside, and still has the ability to get around the corner and get downfield for a nice gain. And you see how versatile he is right there with the rushing, the kickoff returns, and the punt returns. He is a big weapon for this Philadelphia Eagle offense.
And he's reached the end zone 8 times this year as a receiver and a runner. On top of that, Deuce Staley comes in the backfield on second down and 2. McNabb has some time, and he goes out to the running back Staley. Flags are down. 2 penalty markers down. Staley would have the first down pending the call. Walt Coleman and his crew Working in the sunshine today in Charlotte. Beautiful day, not a cloud in the sky. And temperatures hovering near 60. Penalty against the Panthers.
Take your pick, illegal contact or defensive holding. Both will result in a first down.
Illegal use of hands to the face, 29 defense. That penalty's declined. Holding, 24 defense. That penalty will be accepted. 5 yards, automatic first down.
Ricky Manning Jr. drafted on the 3rd round from UCLA, and they'll take the holding penalty.
Well, that explains Donovan McNabb. Watch him on this pass play as he goes through his progression. He was probably seeing one of his receivers knocked off his route with the illegal hands to the face. I got to get off him. Okay, there's the other guy. He's being held. Let me quick get out here to the outside to do Staley. That's why everybody has to stay alive in this offense. You never know when Donovan McNabb is going to throw the ball your direction.
Brian Westbrook on the run on the first play from the Panther 41, picking up 2 yards. Chris Jenkins, the defensive tackle, making the play. And right now, I'd have to say the Eagles have won 6 in a row, really have things going their way. And the Carolina Panthers in tenuous situation here, because this is a club that was 7-9 last year in John Fox's first year, tasting success early, won their first 5 games. And they played a very close to the vest kind of game. I mean, every game went down to the wire, but they're just 500 since that great start. And trailing here. 2nd down and 9. And McNabb this time thrown behind Pinkston. And it'll be 3rd down.
And I think one of the things that we're seeing as this game is unfolding that close to the vest style, it has unfolded in their favor. They have had 2 turnovers. They've had the short field, yet John Casey has missed 2 field goals. This team is not good enough yet to give away points like that. Eventually they will get there, but John Fox mentioned we haven't arrived yet. We're 8-3, but we have got to play near perfect if we're going to stay in this hunt down the stretch. I don't want these guys talking about playoffs. I don't want them talking about home field. I want them to focus on each and every upcoming opponent 1 week at a time.
They've had 9 games decided by 6 points or fewer. They've won 6 in the final 2 minutes or overtime. It's 3rd down and 9. And John Runyon guilty of a false start here.
Prior to the snap, false start, 69 offense. 5-yard penalty.
So now 3rd down and 14 makes it a lot tougher for Philadelphia.
You get a little flinch right there with Julius Peppers, and when you've got a guy with his athletic ability, it's so hard for that tackle to stay sat down in that stance because you know that he possesses such great speed. And also what happened on that play is defenders walked up into the mix. Hank Fraley pointed out, people, you kind of get into a rhythm with that quarterback's cadence, and if he has to hold it because you're making protection adjustments, you can get out of sync.
Worst in the NFL from this distance, but they complete the pass, and it's Freddie Mitchell with the first down. So just as we show you that the Eagles with 3rd down and 10 or more, worst in the league, they connect on a 22-yarder and a first down inside the 25.
Freddie Mitchell's going to work the center of the field. You've got your wide receivers on the outside. Look at the big vacated area right there. A nice job of bending it right there at that point. Get across the field into your quarterback's vision. Give him a lane to throw the ball. Don't just keep running straight up the seam. Allow him to make an easier throw for you.
And Fred Mitchell, so much expected of the #1 pick out of UCLA, hasn't really crashed through. Was working with McNabb before the game out on the field, catches a big one, and now it's first down, and McNabb is going to be dragged down by Chris Jenkins. And Jenkins picking up the sack and celebrating a bit. That's an 8-yard setback for the Eagles.
Chris Jenkins, he's the guy right here. Now, you've got legitimate pass rushers across the board when you're talking about this Carolina front, and they are relentless. You cannot give up. They continue to work towards the quarterback. Part of the theory of the defense of the Carolina Panthers is the best defense and against the pass is an effective pass rush. And when you've got guys like Mike Rucker and Chris Jenkins and Julius Peppers, that's 3 people that you have to account for. It's tough to get into those one-on-one matchups with their ability.
And the Eagles will spend their 2nd timeout of this first half with about 4.5 to play and leading 7-3.
All Sundays brought to you by Cadillac. Bold vehicles defying convention.
7-3, the Eagles lead. You have to say, Darryl, that the Panthers have what they wanted. They've got a couple of turnovers, some great opportunities, and have gotten very little. They're really on the short end of this one right now.
They really are, and we've talked about there is no margin for error for this team, and to get to where they want to be, to do the things that people are expecting them at this point, they've got to take advantage of every single opportunity. We've seen careless penalties. We've seen turnovers that they haven't been able to turn into points. That's not Carolina's MO if they're going to win.
Second down and 18, and they'll run it with Brian Westbrook, and Westbrook gets back to the 23-yard line. They're still 10 yards shy. Mike Minter making the tackle. 8-yard pickup for Westbrook, and right now the Eagles are saying if we can get into field goal range, the way this game is going in the field position battle, they'll take that gladly.
Yeah, and this is an offensive team. I think the big thing about the Eagles offense, there are no selfish players in this group. To have the 3 running backs working in tandem together with nobody getting upset, the outside receivers, there's not a marquee name out there. This team on the offensive side of the ball is built around unselfish players. On
the 10th play of this drive, McNabb getting some time, and he finds Westbrook, who makes a fine catch over the middle and is tackled at the 17 or 18-yard line, short of the first down, but enough to bring David Akers in to try a short field goal for him.
I tell you what, this is a great catch by Brian Westbrook. Watch him get up, because Donovan McNabb had a lot of zip on that ball. There's a guy who has complete confidence in your quarterback. He is coming across the middle. It's a high pass, and he is exposed.
35-yard attempt for Akers, who was 4 for 4 last week, and second behind Mike Vanderjagt percentage-wise all time. And there is Akers' attempt, and the kick is good, and the Eagles now lead by 7. 35-yard field goal by David Akers. Philadelphia leads Carolina 10-3. Panthers are going to like this. Steve Smith, who suffered the hip injury in the first quarter with the helmet on, coming back on the field. As you see, the scoring drive by the Eagles, who have now scored in 12 consecutive quarters, leading 10-3. Akers kicking off deep. Rod Smart back at the goal line for Carolina, and the kick will go out of bounds. So Akers gets the field goal and then kicks it out of bounds, and the Panthers will start at the 40.
That is something you're not going to see very often.
Out of bounds. Ball will be placed 30 yards from the spot of the kick. First down.
That's like Tiger Woods snap hooking a drive about 30 yards down the fairway off the tee box. David Akers does not do that.
Coming up Tuesday to Fox, the long-awaited premiere of The Simple Life. Hotel heiress Paris Hilton and Nicole Richie face the biggest challenge of their lives, living with a family on an Arkansas farm. Can these two socialites survive? Find out this Tuesday at 8:30, 7:30 Central, right here on Fox. First down at the 40. Another gift for the Panthers. Stephen Davis. He doesn't need many gifts. Straight ahead, getting 6 yards on first down.
Good patience by Stephen Davis to let the blocks develop. You're going to see the lineman pull. There goes Geno James, number 78. He's on the kick out. Chris Mangum does a good job of getting up into the hole, because he had to make a quicker decision than Stephen Davis. But they trust the guys in front of them. You be patient, and that's what we mean when we talk about downhill. Stay between the tackles. Don't bounce that ball out on the perimeter.
Second down and 4. Again to Davis. And Davis stopped short a couple of yards, and a good tackle by Mark Simino. Well, last week against the Dallas Cowboys, Stephen Davis was held to 59 yards, and that was the second lowest total of the year. Right now, he has picked up 75 yards on 14 carries. But the Panthers will have a 3rd and short coming up as we get close to the 2-minute warning. And the Panthers playing the way they like to play, run the ball.
This will be a run-dominated offense, but they don't, when their passing game, when they go to it, it's not a check-down passing game. They get vertically down the field. A lot of their big plays will come off the play action that they have set up with that running game all afternoon.
2-minute warning. Monday, it's the Sports Illustrated Sportsman of the Year Award here on Fox. Our own James Brown hosts this 1-hour special to announce the Sports Illustrated Sportsman of the Year, highlights of the greatest moments of the year. Sports Illustrated Sportsman of the Year Show 2003, next Sunday here on Fox. Check your local listings for the start time in your area. Panthers only 1 of 5 on 3rd downs, And here is Stephen Davis going off the right side, and he'll have the first down and add on a bunch. Inside the 40, he'll get 14 yards when all is said and done, and a first down after Dawkins had missed the tackle on him.
And here's something that you don't see a whole lot in this run offense, and that's getting Stephen Davis out on the perimeter. But there's Brian Dawkins right there. He comes in and tries to deliver the big hit. That one he wants to do to send a message, but he's got to wrap him up.
And Steve Smith ended the game. He came back, he was hurt, and on first down out of the shotgun, Ricky Prohl with the reception, picking up nearly 9 yards. Troy Vincent is defending him, and the hurry up for the Panthers, who still have 2 timeouts remaining. Second down and 2, and they flip it out wide open. Nick Goings, and Goings is going inside the 20 and out of bounds. So talk about the double bonus, 13 yards and stopping the clock with 1:07 remaining, and the Panthers are inside the Eagle 20 once again.
Well, Philadelphia knows that they like to get the ball downfield in their passing game. Number 37, Nick Goings, he hangs in there in protection, releases late. When he catches that ball, everybody is downfield. There's nobody between him and the next defender for about 10 yards.
So the Panthers with yet another opportunity. They've been in Eagle territory 3 times, have only 3 points to show for it. And right now on the 17-yard line. Play action for Jake Delhomme. Nothing doing downfield, and fires, and the pass is incomplete. Nearly a great catch by Steve Smith, who just came back from the hip injury. He was wide open and would have scored. Almost made a terrific grab.
And this is a great throw by Jake Delhomme because he is moving to his left. He's a right-handed quarterback. He gets his shoulder square to the line of scrimmage and floats this ball over the shallow defender, and Steve Smith almost goes up and makes a great catch right near the goal line.
Second down and 10 with just under a minute remaining in the first half. From the 17, the handoff to Nick Goings. Going outside as Goings breaks a tackle. Going for the sticks and knocked out of bounds before he can get there. But he is just inside the 10-yard line. Chased there by Brian Dawkins and picking up 8.
Here comes your pressure on this side. Nick Goings is going to go here, and then he's going to bounce this ball right to where the 2 blitzers came. He gets up into the line of scrimmage. They are unblocked. They came too far upfield for the quarterback. Nick Goings is able to get up into the line of scrimmage and break the ball right back where those 2 blitzers came from.
Panthers trying to make the Eagles pay for David Akers' bad kickoff that went out of bounds, giving them field position on the 40. Visa halftime report coming up with JB, Terry, Howie, and Jimmy with scores and highlights coming up soon. Third down and 2 on the rollout, being pressured, and the pass is caught, and out of bounds is Mike Seidman, the rookie tight end from UCLA, who looks like he is shaken up. It'll be 4th down, and the Panthers need 1, and Seidman, who is the 3rd tight end, is hurt.
And you don't like to see anybody down grabbing at their knee. Watch here as Troy Vincent comes in to make the tackle. He's got to wait on the ball, and he just kind of gets caught up. Troy Vincent's just doing anything he can to get Mike Seidman knocked out of bounds.
And the Panthers are going to call a timeout. They still will have 1 as they tend to Mike Seidman right now out of bounds. Timeout with 47 seconds remaining in the first half. Calling a timeout to discuss what they do on 4th down and 1 on the 8-yard line. John Fox right now looks like he's going to roll the dice.
Well, he took a little bit of heat from the media here in Charlotte last week against Dallas. A 4th and goal from the 11 in the 4th quarter of that game. Decided to kick a field goal, and a lot of people felt he should have gone for the touchdown. I disagree. 4th and 11 is not a great situation. He's got a great defense. Kick the ball off, play the defense, get it back. That didn't pan out, so he's been questioned.
Well, he's going for it here. Jim Johnson trying to get the answer for the Eagles. 4th and 1. And here is Stephen Davis, and he makes it. First down for the Panthers. And why not? Why not go to Stephen Davis?
You could also say he may have been influenced by what's happened already in this game. John Casey has missed 2 short field goals. So, hey, I decided to go for the field goals then. What's the big deal? Our kicker's in a little bit of a slump right now. It's 4th and 1. I'll take my chances with my guys up front and my big running back.
Well, a couple of weeks ago, the Eagles had stopped the Giants, who had a 1st and goal on the 1-yard line on 4 straight plays. So you have to still have a little guts to go against the Eagle D that way. But not when you have a guy like Davis. They're going to measure right now. It appeared that Davis had made it. It was signaled a 1st down, but the Eagles have a right to say, let's make a measurement.
Wow. Wow. That's short.
The official had signaled 1st down. And now they are indicating that they are short by a couple of inches. Well, the Panthers have to think that the spot wasn't to their advantage, to say the least.
Well, we are inside 2 minutes in the first half, so this can be reviewed by the replay official in the booth to see if the ball was spotted properly. Who is that? Darwin Walker, number 97? The big thing that Darwin Walker does on that play right there is when he delivers the hit, he turns Stephen Davis parallel to the line of scrimmage. He doesn't allow him the opportunity to extend the ball further.
And they're going to look at it, and of course this is a booth review to see whether Davis had the 1st down. This is big. Seven-yard line, and the ball never got there.
Here's a guy that makes a play. Watch Brandon Whiting here. He's initially going to move out to his right in upfield. Now watch him adjust and come down the line of scrimmage. But the big thing, at the point of contact right there, he turns Stephen Davis parallel to the line of scrimmage. He doesn't allow him any forward momentum to get to the 7-yard line, like you just heard, the necessary distance for that 1st down.
Eagles will take a knee and run out the clock. There was an official who did signal 1st down. The Eagles said, let's measure it. They didn't win that by a couple of inches. And then in the replay, by the booth review, he did not make it. So the Eagles with a 10-3 lead, and the Panthers have to be scratching their heads because, you know, here they missed 2 field goals. They go for it on 4th and 1, seemingly make it. And then, of course, they find out they didn't. So the Eagles will take a 7-point lead into the dressing room.
And it's all what Jim Johnson always preaches to his defense. It's about points scored. Yeah, they have been in our end of the field a little bit, but they have no points to show for it.
John Casey, Moose, missed 2 field goals, which he rarely does, and the crowd really down right now. Stephen Davis has 88 yards, but only 3 points for the team.
An opportunistic team. This Carolina Panther has to take advantage of every opportunity. 2 missed field goals, an unconverted 4th and 1. They cannot play that way if they're going to beat the Eagles this afternoon.
Fox NFL Sunday will continue with the Visa halftime report after these messages and a word from your local Fox station. 3, and a few moments ago, Chris Myers talked with John Fox.
All right, Coach, first talk about going on 4th and the spot right before the half.
Well, right now we were disappointed in the spot. They reviewed it. Obviously, we didn't get it. And, you know, we missed 2 field goals earlier in the game, so we decided to go for it in that situation. We've just had missed opportunities in the first half. We got to play a lot better in the second half.
Well, missed opportunities, and of course that was a big missed opportunity against a tough defense, and of course that can't give John Casey a lot of confidence.
No, but for Coach John Fox, you're kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't. Last week at Dallas on a 4th and goal from the 11, he elected to kick the field goal down 7 late in the game, feeling his defense would get him another opportunity. Today, because of the way John Casey performed in the first part of that half, missing 2 makeable field goals, he decides to go for it on 4th down. I think it was a great play by Brandon Whiting. I think it was a good spot. You saw him turn his shoulders, but it did affect his decision.
No question it was a good spot, and we don't second guess because we didn't second guess initially. But he may need Casey at some point later in the game. Steve Smith returning the line drive kick by Akers and gets pancaked at the 23-yard line. As we take a look at the first half stats, Stephen Davis has 88 of those 103 rushing yards, but the red zone possessions.
And take them this way, box them this way. 3 opportunities, 3 points, 2 opportunities, 10 points. That's what John Fox means when he says we're missing opportunities, and his team can't afford to do that. They're not at that level where they can give away points and still be able to beat a quality opponent like the Eagles.
Box them this way. I'm going to take you to the Kentucky Derby next year, you know. You may be good luck. First down at the 23 for the Carolina Panthers, who, after all of that, still trailing by only 7. And Jake Delhome's pass and a great catch made by Steve Smith. And a first down the middle, an 18-yard pickup, and it's still spinning.
Well, if they have shown anything today, the Carolina Panthers have shown that they are resilient. You know, there's every reason for them to come out and be flat at this point, and they come out and they're aggressive. They don't go to their normal pound-the-ball style of run. We're going to come out, we're going to take a shot down the middle of the field in our passing game and try and jumpstart this second half.
Smith with his second catch. No player in the game has more than 2 receptions. First down on the 41, and Stephen Davis this time cutting up the middle. And a good gain of 6 yards on the play. Take a look at the Panthers' offensive leaders. They have 3 points in the game, but here's who they are, and Davis the key.
Well, not a surprise to see a running back of Stephen Davis's caliber having success in the first half against a defense that has struggled stopping the run. But it's only 3 points. It all comes back to the missed opportunities. And there you take a look at the leaders for the Philadelphia Eagles. Brandon Whiting, the play on the 4th and 1. What a great individual effort on his part.
Second down and 4. The pitch is to Davis. Davis again cutting up the middle successfully and has the first down. Very hard to bring him down. And at this rate, the Eagles are going to give up their 4th straight 100-yard rushing game. He got 12 on that one, with N.D. Kalu making the stop, and Davis is over 100 yards at 106.
You think he's a big back and that he doesn't have the ability to change direction and accelerate through holes. We've talked about him being a between-the-tackle, downhill-style runner, but you saw right there a play designed to get out wide to the right. He can plant that foot, cut back across the grain, and accelerate away from defenders.
Last week, he broke Anthony Johnson's record as the leading rusher in Panther career history. In Eagle territory at the 41, and Jake Delhomme with a little pump fake, and this pass up for grabs, and it's intended for Muhammad, defended nicely by Bobby Taylor.
And this is not a ball control pass offense. You know, they like to control tempo through the running game, but when Jake Delhomme drops back to pass, most of the time that ball is getting vertically down the field. He may check back to one of his his running backs or tight ends, but the design of the play is to get it down the field. And Brian Dawkins was worried about that secondary of the Eagles being lulled to sleep because you're expecting run, you're coming up, you're filling holes. All of a sudden, Jake Delhomme gives the play action fake and somebody's running by you.
Second and 10, Davis. And this time the defensive play made, and Mark Semino and Sam Rayburn, but Semino was the first to make the hit, limiting Stephen Davis to 1 yard on the play. We talked to Stephen Davis toward the end of last year, and he was a very, very unhappy camper playing for Steve Spurrier and not a factor in what was a non-running attack then. And you knew that Davis was trying to bite his tongue and not say what he wanted to do. Well, he's saying it in his performance this year. Yeah,
he handled the situation with class, did not complain, knew that the Redskins financially were not going to make that commitment to him for the following year, but he's found a nice home here in Carolina.
Third down and 9. And a whistle and a false start penalty. So the 5-yard penalty marked off.
False start. Snap infraction, center, 5-yard penalty, still third down.
So third down and 14 as Jeff Mitchell, the center, the guilty party.
They always say that the center can't be offsides, but the snap infraction, he's doing something, moving the ball, trying to draw somebody offsides on the defense. They're very specific in getting the ball set. If you have to rotate it to a certain point to feel comfortable, get it done, but then that ball has to stay still.
Panthers have to get the ball to the 30 to keep possession on the design rollout by Delhomme, going to the sideline, and the pass, and it's caught, and it will be a first down. Ricky Prohl, who brings us stability and, of course, a Super Bowl ring with him, picks up 16.
Now, this is going to infuriate Jim Johnson. He gets them in the position he wants to. A good play call by the Carolina Panthers to move the pocket just in case Jim Johnson brings a heavy blitz. They get Jake Delhomme outside on the move, and Ricky Prohl works back down the sideline to make the catch.
And there is Jim Johnson, who's now on to the next play as the Panthers have a first down on the Eagle 29. Ricky Prohl went in motion on that play, and Delhomme was trying to go to Prohl, but the pass clearly thrown out of bounds, bringing up 2nd and 10.
Well, Ricky Prohl had stepped out of bounds, so he cannot be the first player to touch the ball after he's out of bounds. So he could not make a play on that play to try and catch the ball.
A lot of close games for John Fox and his team. 9 games decided by 6 points or fewer. And he's locked in another tight one again, trailing this time by a score of 10-3. Nick Goings checks in as the running back on 2nd and 10. And the end around to Steve Smith. And it's defense beautifully. Jerome McDougal makes the tackle, and alert play by Sheldon Brown as well for the Eagles as we come up with a game break.
No, let's take a look at this play here with Jerome McDougal. You mentioned how well he played this, how well he defended this. He's going to be on the outside, on the right side. He has got contained. Jerome McDougal right there gets upfield. He sees the reverse coming, makes the wide receiver on the reserve flatten out. Now here comes Bobby Taylor. He misses a tackle, and look who chases it down from behind. Jerome McDougal, who started the whole thing.
Jerome McDougal, #1 pick out of Miami. Didn't start to get into action until midseason. And the pass short, intended for Steve Smith. Chris Myers.
Andy Reid told his team at halftime he was wowed by that defensive effort, that stop on 4th down for the Panthers. While he is concerned about the Panthers getting pressure on Donovan McNabb, he's not concerned about the Panthers moving the ball on his defense because he's kept them out of the end zone, and that appears to be the case once again.
Well, despite all of the great running games that Eagle opponents have had, they have won 6 straight games and giving up 17 or fewer in all but one of those games. So points are what they judge you by, and they've done a great job there. Meanwhile, John Casey coming in with a 49-yard field goal attempt. He has missed 2 from inside the 40 thus far.
Maybe he needs to get beyond the 40.
We will find out. Here's Casey's kick, and he hooks it. So John Casey has got to be wondering right now, and confidence for a kicker is only about 100%. Got to have that. He's missed 3.
Brought to you by UPS. What can Brown do for you?
Well, the Eagles still lead the Carolina Panthers 10-3 coming into the game. John Casey was 24 of 27 in the field goal department. He was 1 of 4 today. And with nearly 5 minutes gone by, Donovan McNabb takes over again for the Eagles. And this pass and the run by McNabb, he was looking downfield, and Julius Peppers, and a flag is down. Peppers chasing McNabb, and let's see if there's a late hit here. 7-yard gain, and Julius Peppers in his 2nd year arguing with the officials, and they may tack 15 more on top of the run by McNabb.
Well, I think that's exactly what they're going to do. And
personal foul, unnecessary roughness, 90 defense, 15-yard penalty, 1st down.
You have to be smart, and right now the Carolina Panthers have not executed, and they have not played smart. Donovan McNabb is obviously going out of bounds. Now his foot just touched down. Now there was a tape that was sent out by the officials this week. As soon as one foot is planted out of bounds, that player is out of bounds. And they actually said, we understand that it's a difficult call for the defense, because how can they pull up? How do they know if he's not going to continue downfield? But by rule, that play right there, as soon as Donovan's foot hits the white spot, you can't hit him.
And that was obvious. He was going out of bounds. 1st down, Brian Westbrook trying to go outside. Another penalty flag is down. And a pickup of 3 yards with Witherspoon and Minter in on the play. And this one will be a holding penalty called against the Eagles. Only the 2nd penalty will be marked off right here against Philadelphia today.
Holding, 84, offense. 10-yard penalty, still 1st down.
Wide receiver Freddie Mitchell.
You take a look at the offensive leaders for the Philadelphia Eagles. Brian Westbrook, the leading ground gainer, but that is because of using Deuce Staley and also Brian Westbrook that the numbers aren't higher. And then on the defensive side for the Carolina Panthers, you look right there with Mike Rucker and Chris Jenkins. That is the thing that makes Andy Reid nervous about this defense. They have great pass rushers and great athletes across that defensive front four.
First down and 20. Ball pushed back to the Panther 49. And McNabb stepping up, and he dumps it off to Westbrook, and Westbrook dives forward, and he'll be marked at the 34-yard line, picking up 15 of those 20 yards. Witherspoon got a hold on him and tripped him up, preventing further damage.
We talked about the defense of the Panthers not respecting the speed of the wide receivers and playing more man coverage underneath. But when you got a guy who can catch a ball like that, Brian Westbrook, matched up in one-on-one coverage with the speed he has against Dan Morgan, who is a very athletic middle linebacker for the Panthers, I think that that is a matchup that you would be worried about from a defensive standpoint.
Deuce Staley, who has 4 carries for 12 yards, has come in at running back, 2nd down and 5. And the pass thrown to Westbrook, and Westbrook tripped up at the 30, will be short of the first down by a half a yard. Good play by Deion Grant, the free safety. Westbrook stayed in the game. Deuce Staley did join him on that play, and it'll be 3rd down and 1. John Ritchie, the fullback, coming in to the game, and he will be back there with Westbrook on 3rd and 1.
Got to have your fullback in the lineup when you get the short yardage, right?
A lot of teams now say, hey, we couldn't play without a fullback. Ask Bill Parcells.
A lot of them are trying to do it, though.
3rd down and 1. They send Westbrook in motion, and the pass is caught, but no first down, and Deion Grant makes another big play as he stops Westbrook from getting the distance, and 4th down coming up for the Eagles.
I don't like that play. You've got Brian Westbrook. The one thing he has to do, if you're going to motion him out and run a little flat pass, then Brian Westbrook at least has to get the yardage necessary for the first down, because that's what happens. You have your back turned to the defender. You're running parallel to the line of scrimmage. If you haven't gotten enough yardage, when a defender comes up and hits you immediately like Deion Grant did, you're going to be short.
48-yard attempt. Akers with a 35-yard field goal earlier. And Akers' kick is good. So Akers is 2 for 2 today. And the Eagles have no problem with the field goals like the Panthers are. And they've opened up a 10-point lead over the Panthers.
Enjoy your new Durango.
Look, it's got a DVD. And see how smooth the ride is for you and Fluffy?
Liz, what are you doing to him?
I'm just showing little Joey the new Durango.
Son, there's only one thing you need to know. Hemi. Can you say Hemi?
Hemi.
That's my boy.
The all-new Dodge Durango. Big size, smooth ride. Hemi power. Starting under $26,600.
The human spine. Through it, nerves run to the brain, sending messages to the body. SBC works the same way. Only our backbone, our networks, send vital signals to communities, companies, families. The nearly 170,000 people at SBC are here to say they're proud of what they've built and how they've built it. That takes a bit of backbone, too. A big company, a big responsibility. SBC, going beyond the call.
In 2 days, see Paris Hilton as you've never seen her before. Living with a family on an Arkansas farm.
What do you guys think? Was that underwear or was that an outfit?
The Simple Life premieres this Tuesday after That 70s Show on Fox.
Midway through the 3rd quarter, the Eagles lead the Panthers now 13-3, and half the field in shadows as David Akers, last time he kicked off, it went out of bounds. Rod Smart and Steve Smith are both back deep for the Panthers, and this ball picked up at the 5 by Smith. Steve Smith, and run out of bounds, and an official goes down as well. Official takes a tumble. Sheldon Brown made the special teams play on the sideline after the 26-yard return by Steve Smith. Well, the Panthers trying to mount an offense, and they've had good field position. They just haven't scored a TD yet.
I was 90 seconds into a 12,000-foot night jump. You know, go time. I pulled the ripcord. Nothing happened. I pulled the backup cord. Nothing. So I thought to myself, what would Jared do?
The honey mustard turkey with cucumbers from Subway. Eat fresh.
Bond. James Bond.
James.
20 movies. 3 gift sets. Only 1 Bond.
No more foreplay.
Only entire DVD collection now.
Sometimes you need a little help staying in the game. Introducing new Levitra. It's a new choice. And it's here now. Ask your doctor if a free sample is right for you. Ask about new Levitra.
What do people see in the new Chrysler Pacifica?
I see a woman who knows how to relax.
I see a man who knows where he's going in the world.
I see a painter, a parent, an individual.
I see a mom and a dad who are completely behind their kids.
Introducing the Chrysler Pacifica, well beyond the SUV.
Salazar can't be allowed to leave the country.
Would you sacrifice the life of the man who saved yours?
I can't give the order to kill Jack Bauer.
But you can't let Salazar go either.
To save innocent lives?
They've got us. They've locked onto our heat signature.
You gotta make this decision now.
An all-new 24 at 9, 8 Central, Fox Tuesday.
All right, let's come back and clean up this this hit on the sideline. You saw Donovan McNabb earlier with just 1 foot out of bounds. Now right here, Steve Smith, watch. He's going to leap. His foot was in play. It was in play at that point. He is hit in the air as he's out of bounds. But because his foot was not down out of bounds, it is not a penalty.
First down, and the pass caught into Eagle territory by Muhsin Muhammad. I tell you, that play, whether it's Smith or Muhammad, has worked for Delhomme and the Panthers today. A 23-yard gain and a first down at the 47 of the Eagles.
They have started off their last 2 series with a big pass play down the middle of the field. Muhsin Muhammad does a good job of getting in behind Mark Simoneau and then continuing across on his crossing route to allow Jake Delhomme an area to throw the ball.
And most of the Panthers seem to live in Eagle territory. There you see the average starting position, their own 43, but they have been in Philly territory all day, but have stalled. First down, and Delhomme getting a lot of time, and now will take off and get pretty good yardage. He gets about 6 or 7. So an alert play by Jake Delhomme, who started only 2 games in his NFL career. And in talking with John Fox, he said, you know, I know he didn't play much, but whenever he came in, he did good things. And Delhomme, who replaced Rodney Peete in the second half of the opener this year, has been there ever since and delivering ever since.
And he took over in a very adverse situation. I think they were down 17 points and came back and brought Carolina back for a victory in that game against Jacksonville. So he definitely added a spark. He's earned his spot. So every time he takes the field, every time throughout his career, even though he wasn't a starter, he has performed well.
Stephen Davis stopped short of the first down. Let's go down to Chris Myers.
Dick and Darrell, yeah, you were talking about Rodney Peete, who was the starter at the beginning of the year. His assessment of Delhomme, he said he's almost Montana-like calm. That's one of his strengths in the huddle, but he's got enough Cajun spice to keep things interesting. And he said he's certainly the kind of guy, the defining game was after throwing a couple of interceptions against Tampa in Week 6, and he ended up leading them to a last-second victory in that game. John Fox said, I was wondering who my quarterback was going to be next week, and now I don't wonder about that anymore.
3rd down and 1. Thank you, Chris. With nearly 5 minutes remaining in this 3rd quarter. And the quarterback sneak. And it appears to be enough, a 2-yard pickup for Delhomme. And you mentioned Chris, the Cajun. Remember, Bobby Hebert was the other Cajun quarterback we all remember from the New Orleans Saints, and you knew that Jake Delhomme was that way. He says, I know when I face the Eagles, he'll give us some funky looks. and he said in his Cajun accent, so we knew we were at home with him. There you look at his numbers, 10 of 17 for 117 yards, and the Panthers still driving.
And that Tampa Bay game was big for another reason. Stephen Davis was not in the lineup. Their #1 playmaker up until that point in the season was out with an injury. Jake Delhomme added the other dimension, and that was the big question. If he had to win a game, could he do it throwing the football? And he did against Tampa Bay that
On
day.
a try now as the pressure comes in, and the pass is caught, and a great catch by Muhammad. Tell you, he is a physical receiver, as of all of the top 3 receivers for the Panthers, and that is close to a first down as the crowd yells "Moose" for Muhsin Muhammad.
John Fox set a standard when he came down here. Look at the concentration right there by Muhsin Muhammad. That ball goes off of Mark Simoneau. What he wants from every player on his team is to be tough and to be smart. And Mike Minter, we asked him, well, what was the standard before John Fox came here? He said there wasn't any. You know, nobody came in and said, hey, this is what I'm expecting of you. He gave them something to reach for, and they had every reason to know. If you're not a part of the Panthers, you know why.
2 tight ends, and Stephen Davis getting the call. And he's hit by Mark Simoneau on a 2-yard pickup. So the Panthers trying to get something going here, and slow getting up is Brandon Whiting, who had a big stop in the first half. For the 6th time in 7 drives, the Panthers find themselves in Philadelphia territory. Incredibly enough, they only have 3 points. John Casey has missed 3 field goals in the game. And with under 3 minutes to go, the Panthers are down by 10. 2nd down and 8 from the 24. Play action. And the pass floated up there, and it's caught by Steve Smith. And Smith is in for the score. So the Panthers finally get a touchdown, and did they have an answer for a Jim Johnson blitz on this one?
Here comes the pressure on Jake Delhomme. It's coming from the right, number 54, Nate Wayne. Watch Jake Delhomme buy some time and then just float that ball out to Steve Smith. Bobby Taylor in coverage. You know what? I don't think Bobby Taylor is 100% right now. That is about the 3rd time that he has been trailing a wide receiver on the move. And you have to walk that fine line as a player. If you're not 100% and you're hurting your team, you may need to get on the sideline.
John Casey makes the extra point, and the crowd gives him a little boost in the process. So Jake Delhomme throwing touchdown pass to Steve Smith, his 6th TD catch of the year, and it's down to a 3-point Eagle lead.
I'll be ready to go in a minute.
Take your time. A vacuum.
You like that, don't you?
All right. Thirsty now, ain't you? Little Pepsi. Oh, man. Your vacuum cleaner ate my pants. There was nothing I could do.
Nothing chases chips like a Pepsi. It's the cola.
What do people see in the new Chrysler Pacifica?
I see a woman who knows how to relax.
I see a man who knows where he's going in the world.
I see a painter, a parent, an individual.
I see a mom and a dad who are completely behind their kids.
Introducing the Chrysler Pacifica, well beyond the SUV.
Check Sam Blitz. Check that safe. It's on 2. Red 80, yo, watch the
NFL Sunday is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Friendly nonstop service all across the country. Southwest Airlines, a symbol of freedom. By Dodge, you can take life as it comes, or you can grab life by the horns. Dodge. By the cola that makes everything better. Pepsi, it's the cola. And by Subway, good so you don't always have to be. Subway, eat fresh.
Carolina Panthers with their first touchdown of the game, coming to within 3. There's the scoring drive. Jake Delhomme Did it running and passing as James Thrash on the return for the Eagles gets smacked down shy of the 20-yard line. That was Lester Towns who provided the hit, and it looks like the Panthers are very much inspired at this point.
The holidays are coming fast, and so are gifts that go from your Honda dealer. All with straight deals featuring 0 down payment, 0 payments for 3 months, and 6.9% fixed APR financing for up to 60 months on any new Honda. Plus great values like the best-selling 350cc Rancher starting at $38.99 and CRF starting at $12.99. So you better get going before the gifts that go are all gone.
FIFA Soccer 2004, rated E for everyone. NCAA Football 2004, rated E for everyone. From EA Sports, now on Engage.
There's glory for the individuals who come together for a common goal. You tame the elusive beast of time and space, bringing together offices from every corner of the globe, working in real time, as if shoulder to shoulder. You have the new Microsoft Office system. Go team.
As a United Way volunteer, Darren Howard helps out in a drama program that helps kids express themselves.
Action.
Badges? We don't need anything of badges.
Now, that was a good one.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Microsoft. Your potential, our passion.
Two minutes and 39 seconds remaining in the third quarter here in Charlotte. The Eagles lead the Panthers 13-10 in a battle between 2 8-3 teams, and the winner of this game will take control of the NFC. And of course, you say that knowing that there's a lot of time to go, but that would be the fact. So a lot at stake in this one. 1st and 10 at the 19 for Donovan McNabb and the Philadelphia Eagles, and the pass complete to Greg Lewis, the rookie from Illinois, on first down, his first catch of the game.
Yeah.
And a flag goes down.
Be smart. Yep. You can hear the whistle.
Mike Minter was all over him.
Forward progress was stopped. The play was whistled.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, 30, defense, 15-yard penalty. First down.
This is where this team has not yet matured when you get up to this level, Moose, as you know, when you get to the last month and a half of the season.
You can't take the emotion out of the game of football, but you've got to be smart. And right there, Mike Minter is just trying to hurt Greg Lewis. He's taken him to the ground. He's trying to drive a shoulder in. Number one, it was late. It was after the whistle, after forward progress. And you're exactly right, Dick. I mean, to take that next step, you've got to eliminate that one, the one that Julius Peppers had on the last drive. You can't have those critical mistakes.
1st and 10 at the 41 for the Eagles. And Ryan Westbrook, good speed and power, and Westbrook close to the first down. Well, moments ago, Steve Smith caught the touchdown pass from Jake Delhomme, and he wanted to have that ball saved and earmarked. You've seen this before, haven't you, Moose?
Yeah, Emmitt Smith actually has every single one of his touchdown balls throughout his career. And I think he had to build a whole nother room in his house to catch the overflow. So he started that his rookie year and maintained it all the way through his career.
At 164 as a Dallas Cowboy. 2nd down and 1 at midfield. Short drop, and getting dropped is McNabb back to the 45-yard line, and a loss of 5. Mike Rucker gets the sack, although you're looking at Chris Jenkins doing the celebrating. He has a sack today as well. They're all getting in on the act, Moose.
Trying to put somebody to sleep, give them that NyQuil. That Tylenol NyQuil, put somebody to sleep.
Well, you heard Andy Reid tell Chris Myers the one concern that he had coming out at halftime was the pressure the Carolina defense was getting on Donovan McNabb. They're doing something different, something more regularly during this game that they hadn't really showed. They're covering the guard, center guard area, going to that bear look that Buddy Ryan made so popular. Here's another dose of it right here.
3rd down and 6, and the timeout as the play clock was running down, and Donovan McNabb takes the first timeout for the Eagles here in the second half with the 3rd down and 6 coming up. So we'll take a break here. 3-point game between these two division leaders.
So, you like it?
A diamond bracelet from Kay means 2 things. Every Kay diamond is hand-selected, and she'll absolutely love it.
You know, it goes with everything.
Every kiss begins with K.
I'm going after the Black Pearl.
New on DVD and video. Critics are calling Pirates of the Caribbean the ultimate DVD.
Yo-ho.
Johnny Depp, Jeffrey Rush, Pirates of the Caribbean. Only on DVD and video this Tuesday.
And here's that defense that's giving Philadelphia problems right now. You got three right here. They're covering the inside. Here's your other defensive lineman. They walk a backer out here. It's kind of a little bit of a bear look because of what Philadelphia is doing with their formation with the fullback right there. This is the adjustment that the defense has done, and Andy Reid said the offense is struggling to make their blocking changes on the fly during the course of the first half and now into the second.
And the pass to Westbrook, and Westbrook lunges, and he appears to have the first down. That extra effort by Brian Westbrook. And remember that 15-yard penalty and Reggie Howard on the stop.
You can see right there Reggie Howard's point. They don't have anybody on Michael Westbrook on the outside. He jumps out there, but if he was to leave Todd Pinkston, Donovan would have just gotten him the ball. So a mix-up in coverage by the Panther defense coming off of a timeout. Inexcusable in that situation on a critical 3rd down.
Remember, the Panthers won their first 5 and have played 500 balls since, splitting their last 6. First down at the 48. And a couple of pump fakes, and now McNabb just looking for anyone downfield, and he finds Freddie Mitchell, who makes the catch. And Mitchell with a big reception and showing the emotion after the 12-yard pickup with Ricky Manning Jr. on the coverage.
Donovan McNabb does this all on his own. Freddie Mitchell is the wide receiver who is stepping up this afternoon. He had a big catch down the middle in the first half, but watch this throw by Donovan McNabb. Drifting backwards on the move, and leads Freddie Mitchell enough so that Ricky Manning Jr. can't make a play on that ball trailing. What a great throw on the move on a broken play.
And that's where what Donovan McNabb can do that most other quarterbacks cannot. First down on the 36 of Carolina. Here is Westbrook knocked back and will be thrown back and will lose 2 yards. And it was Julius Peppers who made the big play as time runs out. And that's the end of the 3rd quarter with the score. The Eagles 13 and the Panthers 10. Fox NFL Sunday will continue after a word from your local Fox station.
You're watching the NFL on Fox.
What makes Sebring Sedan one of the best values in America? It's more than just good looks. It's got great features like power windows and locks, remote keyless entry, AM/FM CD, 16-inch wheels, and cruise control. Plus, it's backed by Chrysler's 7-year or 70,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. Let us prove we've got one of the best values in America. Check out Sebring Sedan at your Chrysler dealer today. Get into Sebring Sedan for far less than Toyota Camry, around $17,000 after a $2,500 cash allowance.
Paint a picture with your mind. Nothing's crueler than the passing of time. Need you to say you'll stay forever this way.
Photographs. They're one of the few things powerful enough to slow us down. And no one makes it easier to shoot, connect, and print than Canon.
Forever this way.
Tents, backpack, sleeping bag. I think that's everything.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Can't wait for yours?
Then get into the Jeep year-end sales drive, where qualified returning Daimler Chrysler lessees can lease a Jeep for $275 a month and get our 770 powertrain limited warranty. Hurry to your Jeep dealer. See how good the best values in America can be.
Taking a look at the skyline of Charlotte, North Carolina, Fox NFL Sunday. Pleased to be bringing you this big battle between the Eagles and the Panthers as we begin the fourth quarter. Dick Stockton along with Darryl Johnston, Chris Myers. It'll be second down and 12 for the Eagles. Making the handoff to the fullback, going up the middle to the tight end, L.J. Smith. First catch of the game and a big gain of 15 as we check in with James Brown in a game break.
Fellas, take a look at what the Rams are doing. Marshall Faulk here capping a 5-play, 75-yard drive with a 5-yard run. 126 career touchdown tying him for fifth with Jim Brown. Then Mark Bulger decides to take it himself. 12-yard run, that after a Dante Culpepper pick. 34-17, Rams over the Vikes, back to Dick Stockton.
So a big battle going into the Dome in St. Louis. Early here, less than a minute gone by in the fourth. First down on the 23 after the big pass to the rookie Smith, the tight end. Terrell Buckhalter looking for running room, and it won't be there as Will Witherspoon makes the tackle. No gain on the play. And I'll tell you, Darryl, this game is living up to all of the expectations that we anticipated.
It really has. I mean, and you expect that when you get to this point of the season, if somebody is going to make a statement, and this is what a lot of people call this, kind of a statement game at this point of the season, the type of battle we've seen. The thing that I have been impressed most with is a lot of things have gone against Carolina, yet they have hung in there. They have fought through it, and for a young team to show that resiliency, I think that's a huge step forward for John Fox's group.
Second down and 10. And the quick out to Westbrook, breaks a tackle and knocked out of bounds at the 21-yard line. You know, it isn't very often you have a high marquee game like this one with two teams, the division lead 8-3, playing for the tops of the NFC, really delivering. It's a grueling game as we expected.
It really has lived up to its billing, and Carolina really has done everything they wanted to do. The one thing, obviously, the missed field goals, but they are winning the battle at the line of scrimmage with their defensive line, the one area that we really focused on for the Philadelphia Eagles. And every time something has gone against them, they have come back and responded and put together a nice drive, gotten back down there for another opportunity. It's just their mistakes in the kicking game right now that have prevented a very nice afternoon up until this point for the Panthers.
Third down and 7, and the pass incomplete. Todd Pinkston was the man that McNabb wanted to go to, and fourth down coming up. And let's not forget going forward on 4th and 1 and not making it as well for Carolina.
And there goes Mike Minner right up the middle, and as running back in protection, you could be assigned to have two guys, and what coordinators will do, they'll try and break that down and send both of those blitzers at you. With the running, I think it was Brian Westbrook in that situation. He's got to stay with the inside guy.
Here is Akers attempting a 38-yard field goal. And the kick is good. So David Akers kicks his third straight field goal today and giving the Eagles a 16-10 lead over the Panthers.
We didn't just give the new Ford F-150 more horsepower. We gave it the most low-end torque. Why did we push farther than anyone else? So you could do more than anyone else. Only this truck earned the right to be the next F-150. If you haven't looked at Ford lately, look again.
The Braun Synchro is the first shaver with a 4-way moving head. It captures more hair in fewer strokes, so it shaves closer. Only it moves so fast, you can't see it. And to keep it feeling like new every day, it automatically cleans itself in alcohol. Braun Synchro. We challenge you to find a better dry shaver.
You ever go horseback riding? Are you kidding? Those things are huge. What about motorcycles? No way. You ever hang glide? No, I'm scared of flying. Surfing? Way too dangerous. Right.
No matter what you love to do, bring your Visa card. The card you know they'll take wherever your adventures take you. Visa, it's everywhere you want to be.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Visa. If you love the NFL, it's everywhere you want to be. By Braun Synchro System. Braun challenges you to find a better dry shaver. By Stuck on You, starring Matt Damon and Greg Kinnear, December 12th, only in theaters. And by the next Ford F-150, built Ford tough.
Eagles lead by 6 points, 16-10, and David Akers making his field goals, and John Casey not making his field goals for the Panthers. A lot of time left in this one. Kickoff returned by Rod Smart. He had a 100-yard touchdown return earlier in this year. He only got this one back 13. Carolina needs a touchdown to take the lead. We'll be right back.
On December 12th,
Hey, you guys are stuck together.
meet two brothers
Siamese twins ain't the easiest sell I've ever had.
We're not Siamese. We're American.
who always stick together.
What's up, Double Trouble?
From the Fairley Brothers. Stuck on You.
I'm not going another step until you apologize to me.
Don't you walk away from me. Oh, you better run.
Rated PG-13. December 12th, only in theaters.
And now with Sprint, unlimited night minutes, instead of starting at 9, start at 7. And it's a great deal. And your calls are clear. With guys, it's all about the money.
Now with Sprint, you can get a great deal on any new service plan with 2 more hours of weeknight calling.
Meet Blue Cash from American Express.
Only one truck has the strongest, toughest frame of any full-size pickup. That truck is the new Ford F-150. It has a fully boxed frame with crossbars welded through the side rails, all of which gives you the highest payload. Only this truck earned the right to be the next F-150. If you haven't looked at Ford lately, look again.
History behind Mike Vanderjagt, and today he's been the difference in this game, hitting all 3 of his kicks. Akers, not by accident, during the week he takes 200 practice kicks, but on game day 100 practice kicks. He says it's almost like a golf swing, trying to stay in rhythm. And of course on the other side, John Casey having problems. This game likely to come down to a field goal.
And it has for the Panthers, Chris, a good deal this year with Casey with 3 game-winning kicks in overtime. Jake Delhomme is going to be hit and loses the ball. And the Eagles had it, and the ball was torn loose again. And so will scramble it at the 10-yard line. And the Eagles recover at the 10. Huge turnover. And it was Darwin Walker ultimately who made the recovery. And the Eagles will have the ball in golden position, leading by 6.
And it was number 54, Nate Wayne, who caused the fumble. And one of the things that Jim Johnson talks about, when you get an opportunity, watch where he goes. You see that hand come in and strip? Jake Delhomme has got to feel that pressure and get that ball secured, because defensive coaches teach the blitzers and the down linemen, when you get near that quarterback, just don't try and get a sack. If you have the opportunity for a big play, take that ball away. And that's what Nate Wayne did right there. Darwin Walker lucky to get that ball back. If you recover a fumble and you are on your back and can't get rolled over, 9 times out of 10 somebody's going to come in there and rip that one out of your hands.
Well, he had it, lost it, but recovered in time. So the first turnover of the game for the Panthers could be a killer for them. Still early, but they trail by 6, and the Eagles have a first down at the 11-yard line. Ryan Westbrook gets a yard on the play.
It's important for the Eagles right now to get a touchdown. They can't kick another field goal. They've been down here a lot lately, and they've been settling for field goals. When you get a big play like that by your defense, you've got to have the ability to take an opponent out of the game, or at least put them in a situation where a touchdown does not give them back the lead. So Philadelphia in this situation, to walk away with a field goal is going to be an advantage to the Carolina Panthers.
2nd down and 9. Deuce Staley lines up in the backfield with John Ritchie. And McNabb with the quick toss. And it's James Thrash, and Thrash has hit it about the 3-yard line.
What an effort.
What James Thrash snuck under everybody and goes in for the touchdown. James Thrash was stopped by Ricky Manning Jr., but he wasn't done, and the Eagles get a quick 6.
What a great individual effort by James Thrash. I thought he had made a mistake when he stopped and went to cut back inside. I thought his best opportunity to get into the end zone was to just turn right now, get north and south right now. Now watch, he plants, goes back inside. Here comes all the pursuit. It's actually number 94, Kendall Moorhead, who knocks Ricky Manning Jr. off the tackle right there and allows James Thrash to get in.
So there have been very few touchdowns by wide receivers for the Eagles this year, and now they're going to go for the 2-point conversion, leading by a score of 22-10. This is their first attempt, and teams are just about 50-50. And there is Thrash on the end around, and the pass through the hands of Chad Lewis. Lewis was there and would have gotten the conversion easily, but could not hold on, and the score is 22-10 when we come back. An easy 2.
You won't remember me, will you?
One job.
Good luck, Mr. Jennings.
One paycheck.
You're rich beyond your wildest dreams.
One problem.
Oh, it's for your memory wipe.
This is a matter of national security. Tell us everything that you did. You wiped my memory.
Take it. Ben Affleck, Aaron Eckhart, Uma Thurman.
Don't you believe in second chances?
In a new film by John Woo. Paycheck, rated PG-13. It starts Christmas Day everywhere.
I know a little something about making good moves. So if you're thinking about Viagra, one of the best moves you can make is a pit stop to see your doctor.
Ready to ask your doctor about Viagra for the first time? Find out if a free sample is right for you.
Make your move. Talk to your doctor about Viagra today.
To learn more, race over to Viagra.com.
Start your week with a Fox special movie.
Get some pants on that kid.
Adam Sandler, Drew Barrymore, The Wedding Singer at 8/7 Central, Fox Monday.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Budweiser. Grab a cold, fresh Budweiser. It's game time.
And the crowd here in Charlotte stunned by the turnover and the quick touchdown by the Eagles. They didn't get the 2-point conversion. Jake Delhomme getting set to go to work, and the mountain's a little higher for him right now. Steve Smith will return the kickoff. And the Panthers trailing by 12 points. But still a lot of time remaining in this game. Well, we're going to give you a little preview of what you missed on the Fox pregame show today.
They've got a guy on the bench, and Rattay, because of his ability to throw accurate long ball. This guy looks as close to Joe Montana as I've ever seen. Hey, what are you auditioning for?
Smokey and the Bandit 3. Here we go.
Oh, my God, we got him.
Of course, Smokey and the Bandit was a film in which Terry appeared and starred in. No Oscar, though, Moose.
Well, that was a great segment right there when Robin Williams showed up on the set.
First down at the 17, Stephen Davis. And Davis picking up a few yards. Mark Simoneau after a 3-yard pickup. Interesting. that the Panthers stay to the running game. And right now for a game break, let's check in with James Brown in L.A.
Hey, Dick, here's a 4th down gamble that did not pay off. Dante Culpepper dropping back to pass. Hit, fumbles the ball, picked up, Dick, by Aeneas Williams. He takes it 90 yards to pay dirt. Good hustling effort on the part of Dante Culpepper, but they can't catch him. 41-17 Rams, 12 minutes left in regulation. Back to Dick Stockton.
All right, JB, thank you. And the Rams headed for 9-3, and maybe the Eagles as well, unless the Panthers stage a rally. And not that way, as Stephen Davis is limited to no gain, with Andy Kalu and Brian Dawkins stopping him in his tracks.
Brian Dawkins does a nice job getting up into the line of scrimmage on one of those blitz packages that Jim Johnson draws up. And here's his pregame prep. Listen to him breathing right now.
Every time. Every time. Yeah.
And high energy from Brian Dawkins, and Delhome's pass is thrown incomplete. In fact, we saw Dawkins when he came back against the Giants had to be taken out in the second half because he was so pumped up for the game he had nothing left after halftime.
No, he was fatigued, he had cramps, and hopefully that's not an aggravation of that foot injury that he's been battling all season, but he gets himself so hyped up before the game that he lost his wind, he started to cramp, and it was Jim Johnson's big concern. They scaled down his preparation this week at practice, wouldn't let him take so many reps. That's why we're getting a chance to see him again here in the second half this week.
Todd Sauerbruch with his kick, trying to kick it away from Westbrook, and it'll be down right smack on the 40. So the Eagles will have the ball on their own 40-yard line. 40-yard punt. That makes sense.
I judge a minivan on 3 essential elements: versatility, drivability, and safety. Ford continues to set the standard for safety with Freestar side curtain airbag. It protects all 3 rows of occupants in case of a side impact and has an exclusive onboard sensor that instantly reacts to and deploys a side curtain airbag in the event of a rollover. For me, that's the new standard of safety.
The all-new Ford Freestar. If you haven't looked at Ford lately, look again.
Taco Bell's Fajita Grilled Stuffed Burrito. Sizzling marinated carne asada steak and tasty fajita veggies. Wrapped and grilled to go.
They should have gotten fajitas.
Nothing beats the sizzle when you think outside the bun.
The beautiful 4-carat diamond bracelet, just $6.99. All year, she takes your breath away. This year, return the favor. Zales, making moments last a lifetime.
You know, I dated a girl named Georgia. Had to break it off, though.
Come on.
It's about love, man. That's what it's
For
about.
when you need it most, our longest-lasting Energizer Max ever.
After that, I told myself,
Do you have the bunny inside?
I am not dating girls named after states.
Fox tonight. Can Homer take on a grizzly by wearing bear-proof armor?
There's no rear on that thing.
If I get scared, I don't want to ruin the suit.
And all new Simpsons, followed by the Bernie Mac season premiere. When Jordan takes up gymnastics, Bernie brings in Shaquille O'Neal to save the day.
Look at that, boy.
And it's a night to give thanks that your school's lunch lady doesn't think you're a tasty dish. An all-new Malcolm, followed by Ron Howard's Arrested Development. It all starts with a full hour of King of the Hill at 7 tonight on Fox.
The owner of the Panthers, Jerry Richardson, in the middle. His wife, Roz, on the left. Jerry Richardson, former football player. In fact, caught a touchdown pass from Johnny Unitas for the Baltimore Colts in the 1959 NFL Championship game won by Baltimore. So he knows what it's like down on the field. First down on the 40. Play action on first down, and McNabb, and extending himself was Freddie Mitchell. And the pass ruled incomplete. Well, if you fans are in the fantasy leagues, here's what's happened today. Donovan McNabb, Deuce Staley, James Thrash, all have touchdowns, as does Steve Smith. Stephen Davis, 115 rushing. So here are the Eagles giving up another 100-yard rusher.
But still leading.
Right. How do you figure?
3 missed field goals?
Stop the run, they say. Otherwise, you can't win.
Score the points.
2nd and 10 to Westbrook. And he lunges forward for 3. Rucker and Favors in on the play. 5 minutes have gone by, and the Eagles leading by 12, and this crowd right now more than deflated, Darryl.
Well, every reason to be. You know, the opportunity for them to take control of the game has been there all afternoon. Philadelphia very generous with some turnovers in the first half, unable to take advantage. A critical 4th and 1
they are
at the end of the first half, but on cue, they get excited.
Right. They're looking for a stop here on 3rd and 7. To get the ball back. The short drop and the slant, and a great play made. I don't think they have the first down, as Freddie Mitchell was clobbered by Dion Grant on a bang-bang play. But from here, it appears that the Eagles are shy. Not by much, but they look short.
Go away, Payne. Go away. Go away. It doesn't hurt. My ribs are fine. Either that or he's looking for his breath. That could have been actually knocked all the way down towards the 30 that way.
Is he pouting?
No, he's going away to collect his thoughts, make sure all his ribs are in one piece.
Here's Dirk Johnson. His first punt was a beauty. And Steve Smith going back deep.
I tell you what, he has kicked great today.
And the Eagles got down there, but not in time as it rolls into the end zone for the touchback. Well, next week, Fox NFL Sunday begins with America's #1 pregame show, and then it's a showdown between divisional rivals as the Cowboys battle these Eagles for NFC supremacy. Cardinals take on the 49ers. Team trying to keep their playoff hopes alive, or other regional action. Coverage begins at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific here on Fox. I have to tell you, Frank Caliendo, who was imitating Robin Williams today, was nothing short of brilliant, I think, in that pregame show.
It was unbelievable. By far, I mean, he's had a couple good ones this year, but that one by far the best one that he has done.
So the Panthers, now with 8:36 to go, will be operating, and Clinton Hart has replaced Brian Dawkins. You saw him kind of limp off the field. So Clinton Hart, who did a yeoman job the first half, most of the year, and on first down getting protection, and Muhammad makes the catch, and that ball thrown right over the head of Sheldon Brown, and a 14-yard pickup, but a flag is down. And it's back behind the line of scrimmage. It will go against the Eagles.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, number 90, defense, 15-yard penalty, first down.
Number 90 right here, Corey Simon, is going to be the guilty party. Andy Kalu is in there. The ball is out. Yeah, he has plenty of time to shut that pass rush down and not hit Jake Delhomme. So we've seen a couple careless penalties by the Carolina Panthers. The Eagles give them one back.
Yeah, 11-yard gain, and then 15 more. So there is Sheldon Brown, and cornerback as the pass thrown to Jermaine Wiggins, the tight end, and he goes down the sideline for a few extra yards into Eagle territory before he steps out at the 46, picking up 8 yards. So the Panthers 2 scores away here, looking at 2nd and 2. Maybe their game doesn't even start till there are 2 minutes left to go.
Well, they have moved the ball extremely well from 20 to 20. The problems have happened with the field goal kicker when they've got down close, and then that forced John Fox into the decision at the end of the half to go for the 4th and 1. But I mean, infield, they have been very efficient and very good on the offensive side of the ball.
Goings was going in motion, 2nd down and 2, and the pass thrown over the middle to Nick Goings, and he'll have the first down. So he has made some big plays on the few chances he's had. 5 yards that time to the Eagle 41. By the way, the Eagles have had Lito Shepard in at cornerback along with Sheldon Brown with 5 defensive backs, and we mentioned Clinton Hart for Brian Dawkins at free safety. So a lot of the Pro Bowlers out of there now in the secondary for the Eagles. And on first down, just sitting and waiting, is Steve Smith. Stays in bounds but gets 9 yards on the play.
Carolina recognizing that fact that they are thin in the secondary. Brian Dawkins, we saw him limp off. We've seen Bobby Taylor throughout the course of the game not be able to trail the receivers on the crossing routes. Maybe his foot is not all the way back. So we've got some backups into the secondary, and Jake Delhomme is taking advantage of that situation.
2nd and 1, and again waiting with Steve Smith. first down and going out of bounds. So that's been an easy play. It's been there all day for the Panthers as they get 9 more. And that's the side as Jim Johnson has Lito Shepherd in there. I'll tell you one thing about the Eagles. Their backups have done a great job when their Pro Bowlers have been out this year.
They really have. And, you know, Clinton Hart filling in for Brian Dawkins, Sheldon Brown playing for Bobby Taylor. But this is the area on the field where all of a sudden the Eagles come to life and they play a lot tighter.
Here's Muhsin Muhammad, and he's got it. Touchdown. Muhsin Muhammad with the touchdown, and the Panthers are not out of it yet with 6:42 on the clock, beating Lito Shepherd for the score.
What a perfectly thrown ball by Jake Delhomme. Another one, he just drops it right in, floats it down there right over Lito Shepherd, and up until that point, Carolina could move up and down the field, but once they got to this point, the Eagle defense tightened. Lito Shepherd just a little bit slow on recognizing the fact that he had the deep half there. That was enough to allow Muhsin Muhammad to get back behind him on that corner route.
And a flag as John Casey kicked it through, but the penalty thrown before the kick.
Prior to the snap, false start, 71, offense, 5-yard penalty.
That was Matt Willig. A rare false start on a point after touchdown.
You don't want to get too far back and get into John Casey's
no
questionable zone here.
We're kidding about John Casey, and he's missed 3 field goals, only had missed 3 coming in, was been one of the better place kickers in the NFL.
He's been a big part of the season for the Panthers because of the style of football that they play. They're very opportunistic, and John Casey was one of the big stories this year.
He still can be, and he misses the extra point.
Wow.
Well, he's a big story, but the other way, John Casey missing 3 field goals and an extra point. Kicking woes, really hurting the Panthers big time.
Meet Blue Cash from American Express.
And here's John Fox. Nothing to smile about as John Casey misses the conversion. His first time he's missed an extra point this year.
There's a lot of firsts for John Casey this afternoon, and none of them are good.
Panthers, meanwhile, still not in bad shape because the Eagles went for the 2-point conversion. There's the scoring drive, and on that drive, Jack Delhomme was 6 for 6 for 80 yards, but Casey missing 4.
But, the Eagles, that was the right thing to do because you expect the kicker to make the extra point, and getting 23 does you no good at that point, so they needed to go for the 2. John Casey's miss is the only thing that affected that decision. But at the time, the right decision by the Eagles.
James Thrash, and he is stopped at the 24. Tonight on Fox, when Grizzlies attack, Homer is branded the town coward on an all-new Simpsons. Then Shaquille O'Neal guest stars on the Bernie Mac season premiere, followed by an all-new episodes of Malcolm in the Middle and Ron Howard's Arrested Development with guest star Liza Minnelli. It all starts with an hour of King of the Hill at 7, 6 Central tonight on Fox. 6-point lead for the Eagles, and one of the Eagles is shaken up. Looks like Sean Morey. And encouragement. That's a great sign over there as the Panthers going over to John Casey. Pat on the back. You never know when his foot's going to come into prominence again.
Hey guys, meet the new guy.
Hey. Hi, I'm Bob Holtkamp.
Hey, help yourself to some snacks. Speaking of which, you know what would taste good about now?
Yeah, a big, hot and juicy cheeseburger.
With everything.
I can almost taste it.
Telling me, if there were a place to get a hamburger that good this late, I'd not only drive, I'd buy.
Really?
Wendy's classic hamburgers are made fresh, so they're always hot and juicy, so you can eat great even late.
You must be the new guy.
Yeah, thanks.
Wendy's, it's better here.
Correction on the Eagle injury. It was Jerome McDougal, and he is off on his own power. The Eagles with the ball on their 24. Leading by 6. John Casey has missed 3 field goals and an extra point. And the Panthers also missed the 4th and 1 deep in Philadelphia territory. And the indication is there's movement in the line. And a false start against Philadelphia.
False start, 66. Offense, 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
Bobby Williams, the right guard, playing in place of the injured Jermaine Mayberry. John Wellborn out with knee surgery, so these aren't the 2 guards that the Eagles started the season with.
And we focused a lot on the injuries on the defensive line, but the offensive line not intact either.
First down and 15. Back on the 19, and here's Deuce Staley. And Staley backs his way for about 6 yards with Greg Favors, the linebacker, making the play. First timeout called by the Carolina Panthers, and we'll be right back.
Yeah, honey, everything's under control here. Yeah, we had popcorn for dinner. No, popcorn chicken from KFC. It is so not a nugget.
KFC's popcorn chicken is real fun and real food. 100% all-white meat chicken breasts, freshly cooked in fun-sized bites. $1.99 for individual, or party size for $6.99.
What kind of dad do you think I am?
For a fun take on real chicken, you got a KFC What's Cooking.
Back here in Charlotte, Dick Stockton, Gerald Johnston, Chris Myers. Battle is for who controls the NFC right now. 2 first-place teams. 2 of the 3 8-3 teams in the NFC. Rams headed for win number 9. One of these teams will get their 9th win. Second down and 9 after the Panthers' first time out of the second half. And McNabb's pass knocked away, and good defense. Todd Pinkston was covered by Reggie Howard well. And it's 3rd and 9 coming up.
And the concern now with that defensive front that Carolina has shown, that the pressure in the middle of the pocket for Donovan McNabb, he's not allowed to set up. They've got to do something where they start to move the pocket to the outside, come to the line of scrimmage with 2 plays called or the ability to audible out, because right now those 3 defensive linemen that are covering both guards in the center of the Eagles are getting a tremendous amount of push into that backfield.
And that was the biggest fear that Andy Reid had coming into this game.
They are, to me, by far the best defensive front across the board that I have seen this year. You cannot account for all of them in your pass rush.
And the Eagles now use a timeout, and that is their 2nd. They have 1 left. We'll be right back.
For your most important messages, reach out on the wireless service America trusts. AT&T Wireless.
Here's another look at that defensive front that Carolina is utilizing. They're getting 3 of their defensive linemen on the guard center guard area, and then they're stunting them. Now watch them collapse the interior of that pocket. Donovan McNabb has nowhere to go. They've got to do something when they see that defensive alignment to get him outside the pocket and allow him to throw on the move to avoid the pressure.
So it's 3rd down and 9, and this crowd is at full throat right now with 6:24 on the clock. And the pitch goes to Brian Westbrook, trying to turn the corner, and the Panthers are there. Great play, and it was Reggie Howard, the cornerback, on good pursuit, limiting Westbrook to 3 yards, and 4th down in a punting situation for Philadelphia.
Instead of moving the quarterback out onto the perimeter, Andy Reid elects to get Brian Westbrook out on the perimeter. They run a toss crack, get some people outside, but the speed and pursuit of that Carolina defense down the line snuffs that play out.
And the Panthers immediately called their 2nd timeout to save some time. Each team has 1 remaining.
Well, what's your brother into?
Well, growing up, if it was cool.
Well, DVDs are cool. So are video games. We also have the latest music. Or classic hits.
Meant.
Thousands of possibilities. Get yours.
Best Buy.
Well, a lot of people had a feeling that this thing was going to go down to the wire, and it appears to be that as Dirk Johnson gets set to kick. Steve Smith is back deep for the Panthers, who trail by 6. Each team with 1 timeout remaining. And the Panthers need a touchdown and an extra point to take the lead. And here is Smith on the low kick from the 30-yard line, trying to turn the corner, and Smith with a good return. And a flag is down as Smith is stopped at the 41 of Carolina. And you can see Ike Reese is pointing that it's against them, meaning against the Panthers. We'll wait for Walt Coleman.
Well, Steve Smith is an exciting football player. Let's not forget.
It is against the Panthers. That
he went into the locker room in the first half with a hip injury. So, you know, he's not even at 100% right now, but every time he touches the ball.
During the return, illegal block in the back, 42, return team, 10-yard penalty, first down.
So it's charged against Tavares Tillman, but you're right about Smith, and he's come back as if nothing ever happened to him.
It's unbelievable. I mean, on that punt, he just sets his blocks up really well, and he's moving down the sideline, and you're going to see the first one, on Sean Morey, number 85, coming into your screen. Watch this peel back right there by Carl Hankton. I mean, he just takes him off his feet, and they had some nice stuff set up on the sideline. Steve Smith does a great job of getting to the blocks that are set up on the perimeter.
First down on the 22. Here in the late stages, DeLone's pitch, and it's dropped by Muhammad as he was hit by Michael Lewis, bringing up second down. The ball and the receiver and Lewis arrived at the same time.
And this is the first time that this offense has not started off with a big pass play on first down. Michael Lewis, as you pointed out, there's the ball. There he is. Doesn't hit the defensive player with the crown of his helmet. Just a good, solid football hit. Jars that ball loose.
Taylor and Dawkins in the defensive backfield for the Eagles on second down and 10, and going deep again this time, and the pass is intercepted. Lito Shepard and dropped. Lito Shepard had it picked off and could not hold on. And it was Steve Smith who they were going to, and a lot of air thrown under that one by Jake Delhomme.
Yeah, we've seen Jake Delhomme float a couple balls downfield, but this was not the time to do it. Lito Shepard goes up for the catch, but he's got to control that all the way through the process of the catch. He's going to get it secured right there, but that ball gets jarred loose when he hits the ground.
Meanwhile, it's still 3rd and 10 as the Eagles look at what might have been under 6 minutes remaining in the 4th quarter of a 22-16 game. 3rd down, and here is Delhomme, and Delhomme is going deep for Smith, and the flag gets thrown, 2 of them. And the question is, was Lito Shepard going for the ball, or did he take his eye off and guilty of pass interference? And Steve Smith as well.
The Eagle players are indicating that it's on Carolina.
And it is. It's Steve Smith who is called for offensive pass interference.
Lito Shepard comes in. You can see he's got his head turned, but he cuts off the progress.
89.
Great call.
Offense. Penalties decline. 4th down.
He had his right arm around Shepard and his left arm around almost his helmet. And offensive pass interference will force the Panthers to kick.
I'm going to say not so great call. We've seen a couple plays allowed to continue with incidental contact. I think if that's the way you're going to call the game early, then you've got to stay consistent and call it the same way right there.
All right. Todd Sauerbrunn will punt from inside the 15. And a low kick, and Westbrook is going to let it bounce, but then he picks it up and goes out of bounds because that one was skimming down to the 10-yard line. Well, coming this February, feel the rush as NASCAR returns to Fox for 17 weeks of high-speed thrills and excitement as another season begins. Tony Stewart, Dale Earnhardt Jr., Jeff Gordon, and Matt Kenseth lead the world's best drivers when NASCAR returns to Fox this February. Well, now the Panthers have 1 timeout left and 5:41 to go, so I don't think they have to use their timeout on this sequence as long as they don't let the Eagles get a bunch of first downs.
Yeah, but the Eagles also can't come out and just try and take time off the clock and run the football. They've got to put together a drive and at least play field position at this point. Get at least 2 first downs, punt the ball down into Carolina, make a good special teams play.
First down on the 32, and they hand off to Correll Buckhalter. And Buckhalter getting good yardage on first down. Carries out to the 39, a pickup of 8.
We've got 2 of the 4 teams that are near the top of the NFC playing today. It's all going to come down to this, and that's the way it should. Let's see what side of the ball is going to make a play when it has to be made to win a tough game in the month of December. The offensive line for the Philadelphia Eagles, that was the critical part of the game today versus that defensive line of Carolina. They have not performed very well through the second and third quarter. Let's see if when the game is on the line and they need to take time off the clock, they can open some running lanes.
Mike Caldwell is in for Dan Morgan at linebacker for the Panthers. 2nd and 2, and Buckhalter dives forward and gets the first down as he stumbles into Panther territory. So that's the last thing the Panthers needed, a couple of running plays. And picking up enough for the first down with Caldwell, the ex-Eagle, in on the stop, and the clock continues to move.
And he was very fortunate to trip Correll Buckhalter up because he came through the line of scrimmage with a full head of steam with only the safety, Deion Grant, in his way. If Mike Caldwell doesn't step him up, there was a lot of open field for Correll Buckhalter to use to make a move on that safety.
Been like a 3-week round robin. Carolina, Dallas last week. Philly and Carolina this week, and Dallas and Philly next week. See what happens when the dust clears as Buckhalter gets a couple on first down as we wind down to 4 minutes remaining in this fourth quarter. Buckner in on the tackle. So the winner of this game will go to 9-3 and join the St. Louis Rams, who are way ahead of Minnesota. And the winner of this game will hold on to control in the NFC. And you see the rest of the battles. Timeout, and the final one called by the Panthers.
But I think you made a great point early in the game, Dick. They'll take control of the NFC for now, but it is so early at this point, and there are so many more critical games coming down the stretch, and nobody throughout the entire season, you know, we're in week 12 right now. Nobody has stepped up to take control of the NFC, and I really think that that is going to be the case as we get into the playoffs. I think there's going to be a number of teams that have the ability to go all the way to win the NFC Championship, and it's just going to be a question of which team matches up with who when those playoff seeds come out and how well they play, because there is not a dominant team in the NFC right now.
So the last timeout used, so right now the Panthers know they cannot give up another first down. Otherwise, their hopes go down the drain. 2nd down and 7. 2 tight ends. 2 receivers, and Correll Buckhalter going wide, and Buckhalter is upended, and Deion Grant makes the initial hit. He did not go out of bounds, a loss of 1, but the clock continues to run.
And that was the important part on that play, even if he had not been tackled before he got to the sideline. The running backs and the receivers for the Philadelphia Eagles have to realize that Carolina is out of timeouts. The last thing that you can do is go out of bounds. If you're near the sideline, work your way back into the field of play to make sure you don't get shoved out of bounds.
3rd down and 8. And this is where it's at for the Panthers and the Eagles, whether the Panthers will get another shot or not. Ball at the 45 of Carolina, being chased as McNabb is passed downfield, and it is caught by Chad Lewis, the tight end.
What a great job by Chad Lewis.
And he stays in bounds as well, and the clock continues to run. And that may be the death knell for the Carolina Panthers as Chad Lewis makes the grab, beating everyone downfield for 28 yards.
Oh, what a great job at the end of this play, because he is very easily going to get shoved out of bounds. Watch him drop to his knees. He's getting shoved right here. Now just watch. That's a veteran football player. Get down, get those knees down before he gets out of bounds. What a savvy veteran play by Chad Lewis.
Big play by Lewis on a deep play downfield and a first down. Handoff is to Deuce Staley, and Staley with 2 yards on the play, and the Panthers cannot stop the clock anymore.
You know,
except for the warning.
It's interesting this season in some of the critical games. We've talked about Brian Westbrook and Carell Buckhalter, some of the other guys, but it seems like every time in a critical point when a play needs to be made on the offense, they go back to the old guys, to Chad Lewis, to Deuce Staley, to Todd Pinkston, the guys who've been a part of this team. Every time there's a critical juncture in the game and a big play has been made during this winning streak, it's been some of those veteran guys that have stepped up.
Yes, and Staley has come on in the recent weeks. Chad Lewis with the longest pass reception of the year for him on his first catch of the day. Can catch his breath as we reach the 2-minute warning here in Carolina with the Eagles in control.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by SVC, going beyond the call. To play.
Hey, Dad. Can I borrow your car?
Suddenly, you have one more driver than you have cars. Now, your State Farm agent can help with information on auto loans and leases, as well as competitive rates on auto insurance. Talk to your agent today. We live where you live.
Why don't you take your mother's car?
Hi, I'm Rick Titus, the host of Drivers Talk Radio. Looks like you're having a lot of trouble with your Caravan.
Oh, see, it weighs a ton.
Let me show you this Ford Freestar.
Sure.
I think on a daily basis, you're going to find this a lot easier to live with. Come check this out. Just one hand.
Okay, I'm depressed. I just bought that Caravan.
I understand. Here's someone who helped me when I was really depressed.
Therapist?
No, actually a Ford dealer. Come on, I'll help you with that seat.
The all-new Ford Freestar. If you haven't looked at Ford lately, look again.
2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter as the Eagles leading 22-16. And 2nd and 7 coming up. Welcome the viewers that saw the Bears run over Arizona 28-3. Dick Stockton, Darrell Johnston, Chris Myers. The Eagles can control the ball 2nd down and 7 on the 14-yard line, leading 22-16. Deuce Staley running the ball, and the Panthers cannot stop the clock. They have used all 3 of their timeouts in this game, and it has been just what you'd expect between 2 8-3 ball control, tough running teams. This is the story, and the red zone points told it all today.
Yeah, the Carolina Panthers have gotten in there. There was 2 early turnovers in this football game by the Philadelphia Eagles for the Carolina Panthers to get on a good start, but they missed all their opportunities. You see there at the bottom, John Casey, 4 missed kicks, 3 field goals, and then the PAT after their last touchdown.
So the Panthers have had their opportunities, but the missed field goals by the usually reliable kicker has done them in. And here is Deuce Staley on the handoff as we wind down to a minute remaining, and we'll take a look now at some of the plays in this game. And this is Deuce Staley with the first touchdown to give the Eagles a 7-3 lead. This was one of the 3 misses, the second one by Casey, who just didn't have it today, and that really cost the Panthers. Steve Smith brought him back to within 3 points, but James Thrash scored a touchdown. It was a 12-point game. Jack Delhomme hit Muhsin Muhammad, but too little too late for the Carolina Panthers, and Andy Reid's Eagles are headed for their 7th straight victory and really has set the tone. And if you want to talk about who's the best in the NFC right now, I'm going to say the Philadelphia Eagles. They're proving it every week now.
They are finding a way to win football games that they have no reason to win. I mean, today they are behind in every statistical category except the score. And, you know, over the last 2 weeks, they have played very well offensively. They've kind of bailed their defense out. But today, not with their best effort, and that was Andy Reid's concern coming in. You know, we did a good job of handling the adversity in the beginning of the season. How are we going to now handle the success that we've had over the last 3 weeks? I think they're very fortunate to have won this football game. Carolina played well, but they have to take advantage of the opportunities.
No question about it, and they moved to step up in class today. As you see the Fox lineup tonight, Shaquille O'Neal, by the way, guest stars on the Bernie Mac season premiere. All new episodes of Malcolm in the Middle, Ron Howard's Arrested Development with guest star Liza Minnelli. It all starts with an hour of King of the Hill at 7, 6 Central. David Akers attempting his 4th field goal of the game. He's made 3, a 29-yarder, and that kick is good, and that will ice it. Today's game produced by Bob Stenner and directed by Sandy Grossman. The associate director is Charles McDonald. The sideline producer, Jacob Ullman, and the broadcast associates, Wayne Wilson and Michael Peoples, and the technical producer is Bob Miller. Another great job by our technical and production crew. Hats off to them. The pregame show was produced by Scott Ackerson and directed by Bob Levy. The studio technical supervisor is Jack Simmons. The senior producer is Bill Brown. The executive producers of Fox Sports are Ed Gorin and David Hill. And we'd like to thank our spotter, Chris Visser, our statistician, Rick Odioso, up here in the booth, as well as our other stats people, Mike Eldridge and Charlie Dameyer, who are invaluable. And celebration well-deserved by the Philadelphia Eagles. And the Eagles going to win their 7th in a row and will go to 9-3 on the year.
And there's the story of this game. You look at that, every category: rushing yards, passing yards, total yards, first downs, turnovers, time of possession. They just took the lead in that category, but by the end of the game, they will have lost that category also. The only statistic that the Philadelphia Eagles were on the plus side today is the final score, and that is the most important one.
Here is Akers' kickoff. So they give up another 100-yard rusher, their 4th of the year and 5th and 6th game, and still will win the game. Steve Smith on the return down at the 31-yard line. Eagles play the Dallas Cowboys at home, and we'll go into that game next week at the Link with a 1-game lead over the Dallas Cowboys in the NFC East. Meanwhile, the Carolina Panthers go to 8-4, and if you look at their schedule, you say, well, they got Atlanta, Arizona, Detroit Giants. Hey, you know what? Better watch yourself when you get to those games, because their teams make their season by beating the Panthers.
Michael Vick on the football field for the first time this season, this afternoon. So that could be a much different football team when they go to Atlanta. Detroit knocked off Green Bay. I know they're going to be on the road. You can't look past anybody at this point in the season.
I think the Panthers have to say this was a game we really needed to win. And the pass to Nick Goings, he faked a lateral, and now he does back to Delhomme. And Delhomme throwing it to Smith. And Smith still on his feet. This is entertaining, if not productive, and the game is going to end. Panthers won't win, but this is a pretty good show. And Jordan Gross gets into the act. And the flag is down. They had a forward pass there. Hey, hold it all, a forward pass. The flag was down, so this isn't going to count, folks. Nick Goings can go into the end zone, but I'll tell you what.
The only thing we're missing is the trombone player from the band.
Yeah. Get the band out there. Stanford Cal. Longest play of the year. People out of breath, but there are 2 flags down. I saw a forward lateral, so that put an end to that. It's a 9-point lead anyway.
Illegal forward pass on the offense. The game is over.
John Fox not a happy man as the Philadelphia Eagles win their 7th straight game. First time they've won 7 in a row in a single season since the 1980 campaign. And we got to show you this again.
Yeah, just in case you missed this. Here, it starts off great right here with a little fake by Nick Goings. Now he's got it. The thing that they do well is everybody stays behind. This pass right here by Jake Delhomme, cross field to Steve Smith, was a heady play. You kind of knew that it was breaking down, though, when you got to this point. And the only guy that Jake Delhomme could throw the ball back to was Jordan Gross, the offensive tackle. Now the advantage goes to the Philadelphia Eagles, and that's where the forward lateral came in. Right at this point, right, Kevin Donnelly over to Ricky Prohl. But I tell you,
this is great. This is great. Goings going gone for Nick Goings. But the flag took care of that. The game is over, and the Philadelphia Eagles winning 25-16.